No, Rachel and Edie, you cannot take over. Second of all, technically, I was not the late one. I was here waiting. She told me she was ready, so I came in, got all ready. She goes, "Okay, I need to keep saying." I was like, "All right, fine." And then
I did. I
I
had
went,
to use the bathroom.
and then I went and I told her all that's been going on. Now, I told her in greater detail, and I'll tell now you all. My vacation was wonderful. Great. Fantastic. But as per usual, when Star Sun comes back to reality, reality gets mad at her for doing anything nice for herself. The day after I got back, I wonder if you noticed that my hand is oddly empty. While we were in Gatlinburg, that's where I went for vacation, by the way. While we were in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, right near our cabin, there was a walnut tree. And that tree had already dropped all of its fruit for the season. Starman had told me about it because the thing is, our cabin had a little bridge and a set of stairs to go down. So guess who took the dogs out every time we were in vacation? Not me, him. Because I needed to make sure it got done because we had a little creek as well with like a 7 or 8 foot drop. And all I needed was Orion dragging me the wrong direction and we were both going to go into the creek. Which,
Oh
by the
no.
way, I posted photos to Starman's uh, inbox. I will show you guys those in a minute. So Starman went over with a bag and he collected them. Now, if nobody's ever collected walnuts, walnuts in to know that they are ready to be processed to dry out the nut, they need to have walnut maggots in them because walnuts are surrounded by a fruit. The fruit is toxic to humans. You can't eat it, and it will stain you. Okay, it'll give you like a yellowish brown black stain. So these maggots and squirrels have to eat the fruit, or at least start to eat the fruit, for you to be able to get it out from get the nut out. Okay. So we had them, we put them in a bag, we double wrapped them, and we drove them back to North Carolina. We put that back in my sink. Now, reminding you, there are maggots in that bag. When we got back to North Carolina, in the beginning of my neighborhood, there is a walnut tree. And that walnut tree lost all its fruit while we were on vacation as well. So I told Starman, I want to go collect those nuts. I want to get them quickly because I don't want maggots sitting in my sink, even if they are in a bag. And we need to get them all processed because those are going to get taken by squirrels really quickly. I want all of it. I want as many as I can. Great. So he knows this. On the way back from running errands yesterday, I get out of the car, I grab a couple of bags. We've already gotten all the stuff to air out and process the walnut fruit. I collect all the walnuts, and then we get home. Starman and I had a little bit of an argument. I want him to help. He didn't feel like helping because he didn't feel good. Fine. So, as you all know, I'm very stubborn, and once I've decided something's going to happen, it's going to happen. So I go outside, I get all the equipment, I grabbed a hammer because you have to stomp typically on walnut fruit to get the core out.
Mm-hmm.
As we all know, I also have arthritis in both knees. My ass ain't stomping on anything. So I was taking the hammer to it. Now, any of my ladies in the chat that are well endowed have probably done the exact same thing that I'm about to tell you. When you have to store something that you do not want to lose on your person, typically the place you put it is not in a pocket, it is not in a box, it is not in your purse, it is in your bra. Usually on the side of your boob tucked underneath. Because no matter what, your strap is usually very, very strong and your boob has got its suction to it.
Mm-hmm.
So my engagement ring and wedding band were on the side of my bra. At some point, either when I collected the walnuts at the front of my neighborhood or when I was processing them out on my porch, my engagement ring went missing. And I don't know if I'm going to find it. So that's the first time I'm going to cry about it. I'm very upset. So, because Starman had it custom made for me. And it's like this whole little thing because it's like the Lemony Snicket's events. So we didn't mow the lawn. So the grass is 3 feet tall right now. So that's the first part of why it's hard to find. We lost the key to our storage unit where we hold all of our lawn equipment. So we can't even get the lawn equipment. We need a metal detector. Metal detectors cost almost as much as the ring cost. Yes, horror. He only spent $400 or $500 on the ring at the time. He got a really good deal.
Yeah.
And so, right now, somewhere, please, in my front yard is my diamond ring. So if anyone prays, please pray that the woodland creatures that I feed every day will somehow know to drop it off on my doorstep at some point. Like, we can't find it. So that was the first issue. I'm crying because I lost my engagement ring, Esteban, and the only thing I can hope is that it's in my front lawn. Because it's gold.
Yeah, gold isn't magnetic.
Gold isn't magnetic. So that's the first problem. The second problem was the day I got home, Zorro was not okay. Zorro had lost weight while I was gone. And his tooth is kind of rotting. And so I was trying to help him adjust it. Well, it snapped this evening. So I have been on Zorro watch, and now I am on Ring watch. So it's just been a tumultuous, like every time I do something fun, somehow shit always hits the fan. Yes, Ark, I lost my ring. If any of your coworkers, Ark, have a
metal detector,
please let me know, because I will be eternally grateful if they'll let me borrow it for a little bit. I'm asking because I know what Ark does for work, and what he does, there's a really good chance someone he knows might have one.
Yeah.
But so yeah, at least it isn't it is a diamond, honey.
It is.
It's a diamond ring. It's not the wedding band that I lost. It's the engagement ring. The custom-made engagement ring with the diamond and the 2 sapphires and white gold that he had custom-made for me to look like a shooting star. So there's someone I can ask, though. Thank you, Ark. If you know, just let me know, honey. That will be exceedingly helpful. I've already asked several people I posted on my Facebook. No one's got one. All the rich people that I thought would have one, they don't got one. So, of course not. And like I said, they're expensive. There's one cheap one on Amazon, but the problem is if you buy something really, really cheap, it tends not to really, really work. And then, like I said, with the Zorro thing. But, so that was partly why I did not come on stream last night, guys, because it had just happened. And when I was not on Mother to Smother, that's because I was out there with the flashlight still trying to find the ring. Starman tried again today. When he came home, he looked, because the problem is under the walnut tree at the beginning of my neighborhood is mud. So muddy, in fact, that we got stuck in it yesterday, and I had to push the car out. So my car is covered on the side with like red dirt. I can show you both of my new pairs of sneakers are covered in red dirt. And so it's a beautiful ring. I know I have taken very good care. I've never lost this ring ever. I do not like losing things. I'm usually very like, this is very unusual. I've done a lot of heavy labor and running around and never have my rings popped out. Found my tenant's rings after she lost them during Easter. Listen, all I know is that if you're Catholics, guys, pray to St. Anthony. If you're just religious, pray. See, the only problem I worry is, Rachel, so in my yard, it's up the hill and it would rain down the hill. And my worry is...
just slide out.
It'll slide out. And it's, I would say, because of the dense grass, I don't believe it would go that far. It's just very infuriating. It's very infuriating because I was so proud of myself, guys. I got like 14 or 15 nuts out of the processing and they smelled really good. I'll send you a ring. Starman's pretty upset about it too, and then on top of the whole thing with Zoro, it's just been like, it's really weird. Whenever we do something really, really fun, it always comes back and like shit crashes.
Yeah.
But I have really cool photos to show everyone. So whenever you want them, I will also say Orion hated the vacation. he rings tend to be lost only once, right? Forever.
Yeah.
That's my biggest worry, is that we're not going to be able to get it back, and I'm not okay with that. After I got robbed twice and I lost a lot of things that I can never get back, I really don't like it. Like, before, it's always that fear. It's always that fear that it's going to happen to you. But it doesn't, so you can say it's an irrational fear. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, because I've got a great story for all of you. I was beginning to tell Hara the story, but I figured this was one to share with all of you. So, Parkside Cabin Rentals out of Gatlinburg. I highly recommend going to them. Talk to Jeff. Tell him Cassandra sent you. He is a gem. He is wonderful, but he is wrong about donuts. Okay? And I will tell you why. So there is a place called the Village Shops in Gatlinburg, and I think I was greatly underestimating what a tourist trap mountain town was like.
Oh, yeah. I
I
definitely.
had no idea. My brain, here's what I'm gonna tell you what I thought it was. And Hara's about to laugh at me.
Oh no.
My mind was this, that Gatlinburg was just a camping place. That's what everyone said. Like, just a camping place. So it's just a bunch of cabins and then this little old-timey village. That's what my brain thought, okay? Push, no, don't you beat me to it.
Oh, no. There's more?
There's so much more. Hold on. I'm gonna make you bigger than me. Okay, so when I got there, imagine my surprise when I come into the mountaintop version of Myrtle Beach, or just a tiny version of Vegas. Okay. I definitely didn't, because number one, Dollywood, highly recommend going. So cute. Everything's on one road, real easy, love it. So everything is within like a minute of each other. I will say this: you can go on one tank of gas to Gatlinburg. You don't have to worry about it unless you decide to travel really far, and even then, you good. Okay, so exactly, Esteban. Before I go any further, this is what pissed me off the most. Not the wedding band that I ordered from a website that I could have easily replaced. It would have been sad, but I could have had the same one. Nay. That's not what flew out of my tit. It had to be the irreplaceable custom one-of-a-kind ring. But anyways, so again, it is... You guys don't believe me. There's Murphy's Law. I'm not going to use my real last name, but I call it my real last name law, because whatever can happen will happen to Cassidy. It's usually like little, it's not like gigantic, huge. It's enough where, as I told you, my boss once said to me, your life just doesn't sound very believable. Really? I know. I'm living it. You're welcome. And so when he told me, Jeff said, you have to go to the donut fryer in the Village Shops. He said, they are the best donuts you've ever had. They are fantastic. You've got to get there at 6 a.m. So we're on vacation. Vacation rules. You got to have fun. You got to do all the crazy shit. I'm going to warn you all right now. If you ever go to a mountaintop town, please, oh please pay attention to the parking. I will impart this on you because I don't want you to go through what I went through. So, mountain towns, parking is very difficult, because the closer you get to the top, the less space you have. So there are parking garages, and some of the businesses in the larger areas have their own parking lots. The Village Shops, which is actually a mall and not an actual village, has no such parking. You've got to go to the parking garage and walk your way there. Now, we all know exactly how much walking Starson can do. And so it's 6 a.m. We see a rather small parking lot right off the road. There's no signs. So we say, okay, We're only going to go to the donuts and come back. So we pull in. We're right near the entrance. This can't be too long. We're right near the donut shop. We go over. We get the donuts. Don't get a lot of them. I take a couple of photos because the whole entire mall is empty. And we go on our way. As we come back, that parking lot is no longer empty. And not only is it no longer empty, we are trapped in. Every single spot that could possibly fit a car is filled. And we can't even pull forward because there was a tree in the way. Right in front of us. And there's two women, one in the parked very front, like so. Imagine 2 rows like this, and then there's 2 rows of cars this way, okay? So right at the very front, second one in is us, okay? Mind you, we could have parked first one in. I wish we had. Second one in is us, and there's a woman in a car here and a woman in the car here, and they're both doing their makeup and they're dressed very similar. Oh, they must be workers. Let me ask one of them. She says, "This is an employee parking lot. You're not supposed to park here." And I was like, "Oh, we had no idea. We're tourists. I apologize." And she said, "Yeah, the signs are not very obvious." And there isn't. There is one small sign, literally about that big, facing the opposite direction that we came in. Okay. So we were stupid. Look, it is our fault. I will grant that. But that is the defense I give. I'm like, "I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Is there any way," because it's only 6 a.m. Is there any way somebody could just come and move their car really quick and get it back in? It's early. There's still not a lot of people out. And it's only a Thursday. So it's not a super busy day. So I was getting a tongue lashing from the employees. And you guys know me. I do not back down from a fight. But I've always said if I'm wrong, I'm not going to say anything. So I didn't fight nobody. I was good. I was real good. I deserve a medal for how good I was. Because one was like, "Y'all know you ain't supposed to be parking up here. This is an employee parking. You need to pay attention." I was like, "I am so sorry. It's our first time being." "Well, you really need to look what you're doing." "Okay, ma'am, I am so sorry." And afterwards, because like, again, I was a customer service expert. I was real good. She kind of chilled out a little bit. She's like, "Well, listen, I'm not trying to be ugly with y'all, but you really should know where you're going." And I'm like, "You're right. I am so sorry. We came here on authority, but nobody told us really about the parking over here at that time. And so it's my fault." As she goes to find, because we are 1 car away from getting out, they go and get the other employee who's a manager. And the manager, she's not real mean about it, but she's annoyed because she was getting ready to start her stuff. Young girl, maybe in her late 20s, tall, blonde, real sweet. And I apologize again. I'm like, "I hope you get a lot of tips today." And we were supposed to back out. It was a generally easy way to back out, but Starman kind of started off wrong, and I was going to redirect him. Well, this male employee comes over. And no offense to anyone with face tats, but this is a lesson. Never take advice from a man with face tats smoking a blunt.
Definitely if he's not smoking a blunt. Face tats, I will give you a little bit, but if you're at the same time, no, don't, no, ever, never.
I wasn't out of the car.
And honestly, even if they are, with or without, if someone's smoking a blunt, just don't take their advice, especially not at that moment.
So we have a backup camera, right? Okay. But he was saying, "You're good, you're good. I know the camera's telling you you're a little close, you're good." He wedges us, okay? Here's a car. Here's the car next to us. We are butt to nose wedged with the car now. But what I didn't know is we were touching the car that we were wedged butt to nose with. So now they gotta go get that employee. And this is how you know these employees really don't like this bitch. She comes flying. Someone's got to be in her 50s. "What you fucking doing in my car?" She comes screaming. "If you fucking hit my car, I'm calling the fucking police." And I was like, "We didn't hit your car. We touched it."
We touched it. Just a little.
But it didn't. Now, mind you, her car is at least 15 or 20 years older than our car. Okay? It's already got scuffs on it. So, and I double checked after we managed to move away, and we had not touched her car. She moved it forward. She is screaming at us, and then other people were defending us, like, no, 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 no. They didn't hit your car. That asshole Cole or Karen or whatever. He had a weird C name. He had a 4-letter C name. I can't remember what it was. They were like, they were taking his direction. He was telling them what to do, and she's like, well, regardless, the fuck you doing in an employee parking lot anyway? And everyone's like, ignore her. She's a drunk. She's probably drunk right now. And I'm like, shit! Like, when I tell you, if the first thing your coworkers are doing
saying you're an alcoholic
is saying ignore her, she's an alcoholic, and it's 6 a.m., your coworkers don't like you.
No.
They just know you're not technically in the wrong. Now, I want you guys to understand, she was this far from me shouting this at me, and I still didn't yell at me. I went, and I even used a ma'am, because I know the Southerners like that word. I said, ma'am, I am so sorry. We did not know. It is our fault. We're tourists. Well, you should fucking know better. And I was like, well, we didn't. It is our fault. We're just trying to get out now.
I can only think of one 4-letter. Really? That's the word you thought of? I didn't think of that one.
So when we finally got out, the blonde manager, who was originally angry, she's like, listen, don't you worry about it. You guys, you're fine. You're fine. Don't let this ruin. The other lady who was originally yelling at me as well, both of them came out there like, you guys are fine. Please don't let this ruin your day. I know it was real ugly. I will say cock. Oh, not cock either. It was either Kane or Cole, something like that. But again, it was early. And so I subverted expectations, exactly.
Short for cockerel.
And so
again, still not the word I was thinking of, but
it's a Tuesday morning. No, anyway.
Exactly.
So they were all really nice to me. I did leave my name and phone number with the blonde manager in case the lady really did decide to press charges, but I took a picture of the photos of the car as well. There was nothing wrong. And there was no transfer from my car as well. Not even a scuff. And I've been mean to my car. And so I wasn't mean to the Passat, but I am mean to this one because I don't like it. Can't.
Yes.
And so as a result of that, Starman went home. He had a bit of an anxiety attack. And I was very proud of him. He didn't flip out. So we ended up getting up late and we missed out on doing some stuff. But let this be a lesson to the rest of you. Do not park in a random parking lot in an early morning in a mountain town, or else you will suffer the same fate as I did. And the worst thing is, those donuts were not good enough for what I went through. There was a better donut shop, literally with its own parking lot, that we went to the day we left, and Matt and I both said the same thing. We were like, this is better than Donut Fryer. He's like, we should have come here to begin with. I'm like, oh, like I was so mad. They're not, I will grant them this, the Donut Fryer makes very good, they're good. They are not get up at 6 a.m., be there right as they open up good. They are, you want to get donuts while you're in the village shops? Absolutely, go ahead. What mountain town, South Park? Right. And I will say the next time we go, I have no problem staying with Parkside Rentals again. They are very good. They are very kind. They loved the dogs. Nice. And they are very reasonable. But next time I'm going to spend, those employees woke up on the wrong mountain. They ain't no Krispy Kreme. Listen, Krispy Kreme. Anyways, I will definitely next time spend most of my week in Dollywood, because we also went to the Titanic Museum.
Mm.
And my favorite room in the whole world was shown to me. I'm going to show you guys this room. I think I won't even have to explain it. You guys will know once you see it why it's my favorite room.
It's funny because I've already pulled a picture up in my head of what it possibly is.
I guarantee it's easy to imagine.
Yep. Okay. Exactly what I thought.
But here's what's even better. You see this little line right here, guys?
Mm-hmm.
That is 28-degree water you can stick your hands in.
Oh, wow.
And the entire room is chilled like you're in the Arctic.
Oh, that's cool.
It was everything I want in life. Cold, blue, stars, water, heaven. It was beautiful. I was so sad that I had to leave. There was so much. Like, I think I took it because number one, they said no videos. So, of course, I took videos. They have a giant fake iceberg. So it's meant to replicate, like, you're out on the bow, you're there on the Titanic the night it sank. I asked Starman, I'm like, can we do this in the office?
Mm-hmm.
I can't get all that water. Shut up, that's not what I meant. Oh, this is another room they said you're not allowed to take video, so of course.
There's a video.
That thing is massive. That thing is the length of this room. And it's made of Legos.
Oh, wow.
Some kid made it. And, I mean, just stunning. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, you love where Unlucky lives. He lives in Norway.
It's just, when I tell you guys that was my favorite room, that was my favorite room. But I wanted to show you pictures of the mountains. Here we go. So there's me and Starman. This is our last day.
You know, Ryan looking excited to go home.
He hated it every time because the thing is, so we couldn't bring the big crate. So as a result, Orion and Greta had to be created separately for the first time in their lives.
Aww.
And Orion was not pleased. He screamed every time we left the cabin. It was a good 20-foot bridge to our cabin over the creek. We could hear him from the driveway screaming.
Oh.
And we had to shove him in the crate each time we left because he just did not like it. So he was thrilled to go home. And then not like that Greta. I don't know if you can see his nose poking around.
Yeah.
He shoved her out of the way because how dare she get attention? Whatchamacallit? Did I upload the same damn photo twice? I did. I'm an idiot. Why is this doing this? I feel dumb. Here we go. Okay. The mountains were at, now obviously for horror, this is like, yeah, we know the mountains are beautiful. We live in them.
It's a fucking Tuesday. Are you kidding me?
Right? Like for her, this is nothing, but for me, it was gorgeous. Okay.
This is me driving to another town to take my mom to the doctor. Actually, I should show you pictures of that. It's a really awesome drive.
Like this is the Smokies, guys. So it's stunning.
They're very pretty.
If I do say so myself, these photos could be in a magazine. Thank you.
They're very nice.
Thank you. Lie to me more. I like when you appease me. Do it more.
I will say, I think you guys have more deciduous trees than we do.
It was, so I will say, being in the mountain town was very much New England. I kept saying to everyone, like, all you gotta do is literally take out the bears and insert moose and lobsters, and you're in Maine. Like, it's the same exact idea.
You see, we've got bears and moose. We just don't have lobsters.
The lobsters are a big thing in Maine. Everyone does that. Oh, this was so cool. I actually drove through this later, but I didn't realize I was going to drive through it. But this big old cut right there, I thought it was the coolest thing to look at. When I was up here on the mountains.
Very lovely.
And this was on the other side. So one side was bright and sunny. The other side was like super cloudy. And we had to move because there was this woman with her kids that had major main character syndrome. Like they were over the entire car park. Nobody could take photos without them. They were blowing bubbles. They were doing cartwheels. They were just doing the most.
Oh, that's a nice shot. Photo. I like the one sunbeam.
Isn't that pretty? I'm pretty sure that's because I've damaged the lens, but it comes out great.
Yeah, looks great.
Like, it was just very pretty. I loved the smoky effect right there. I think that's oh no, this is a different part. But it was just very beautiful. And then obviously, yes, going back to my absolute favorite room that I've ever been in. It was so nice and cold, especially because it got really hot out
Mhm.
that particular day. That was the one day it went up to like almost 80 degrees on the mountains.
Oh,
And that's
wow.
the one day I chose to dress really cute. Um, I want to see a moose and a buffalo. I definitely just like with everything else I've gone to, again, I was greatly underestimating why everyone went to Gatlinburg, because especially driving up, all you saw was cabins and RV parks and where you could park a camper, and I'm like, everything is just people staying in it. What the fuck are they gonna do once they stay here? I don't get it. Like, that's what I didn't understand, is like, there's nothing to see. Just woods, 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 oh, woods. Like, it was just the same thing over and over again. So for me, I'm like, everyone's camping here, but why? Everyone's staying here, but why? And it just did not compute in my head. And then when I got into Gatlinburg, downtown Gatlinburg, I was like, wow, one, they have I thought I was good at packing shit into like a 10 pound to a 5 pound bag, but it's like there is no room to breathe. You you gotta fight for every square inch.
Mhm.
Like, oh, there was a Trump store. I didn't get to go into it. I was so sad.
Oh.
Like, it was like it had a custom made light sign and everything. So it wasn't like a temporary store. It was like, it was a Trump store. There was
Oh,
Trump
wow.
flags everywhere. And there was a Ripley's, believe it or not, believe it or not, and then there was a Ripley's aquarium.
Cool.
These were in Gatlinburg itself. I'm trying to remember what else there was. Rachel,
Hey, Rachel.
you've been here, honey.
I think she wants to know if what you think about the ring that she put in your DMs, I believe.
Oh. I didn't even look. I was showing everybody pretty pictures.
She was preoccupied talking about herself. No.
I know. I mean, where'd you send it, honey?
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, she found it.
Oh, isn't that pretty? Is that the one that your client lost?
No, that's the one she's talking about sending to you.
Oh. Well, that'd be beautiful. I don't want you to go out of your way, honey. It is lovely, though. Do you guys even know what my ring looks like? I don't know if I've ever shown any of you.
I don't think we have.
I can't show you now, but
I want to go camping. It's been a while.
I am so not a camper.
You know, there are ways to do it that it's okay.
Yeah,
but
glamping.
My mom, so she went to this music festival this year, and she bought a queen-sized cot that has a blow-up mattress on it.
I've sold those. I love them.
Of course, the tent she put it in, it touches the edge of the tent. So she needs a bigger tent.
I'm trying to find a video that I have it on, and I think
Hey, Silver. Oops.
I'm gonna see if you guys can see it. Oh, someone got mad at me for my video of Hendrix that I posted.
Why?
Because they claimed I was stealing songs from Stardew Valley.
What?
Yeah. They claimed I was stealing songs. I'm like, they said, way to take a song from Stardew Valley and not credit it. I'm like, okay. I didn't know what to say to that.
Sure, dude.
Whatever. Why not? So, like,
I'm sorry you have a problem with it.
right? Like everyone chimed in like you're an idiot, but like so whatchamacallit, what was I gonna say? Oh, so what do you do when you go camping?
Well, normally we go to like a lake. There are of course a number of them out here. And then we set up some tents and some. Okay, so one year we went camping up in the mountains in Idaho, and we went to this. It's a really gorgeous little lake that's out there.
Yeah.
And this was when I had my German Shepherd Sasha, and my mom and dad were still together, and blah blah blah. But it was just me and Sasha, and mom and dad were sharing the tent, and we had a blow up mattress. Well, my mattress had a hole in it.
Oh God.
So I wake up and there's a 60-pound German Shepherd who hasn't been able to get outside all night with her poor little legs up in the air as we're tacoed inside this deflated air mattress, and she can't get out, and I can't move to get her out. And the only thing, then one of my parents wake up and look at me, and all they see are these poor dog's legs sticking up in the air over the edge of the deflated mattress. And that poor girl had to go pee so bad.
Poor thing. What'd you do to our girl?
Oh, poor baby. But yeah. But we'll do that, and we'll go. You go swimming. My uncle has a boat, and he'll pull people on his the inner tube. I don't do that anymore, because the last time I did it, the only reason I let go was because I finally realized they weren't going to stop.
See, it can be kind of terrifying going on an inner tube.
Well, it didn't help. I mean, I was yelling at them to stop. Instead of stopping, they kept going faster, and I wasn't letting go. So finally, I realized the only way I'm getting off this thing is if I let go. And I literally had to tell my brain to let go.
That's funny. I'm sorry.
Because I was not letting go. I would still be on there to this day because I was not letting go.
That's my girl.
But yeah, so I finally let go. But yeah, so he pulls people on the inner tube. You have the boat. There's fishing and swimming, and then we make food. There's camping food and all kinds of camping food.
I'm
breakfast.
listening, but I was trying to download stuff and it's not working.
What are you trying to download?
The photos of my ring to show you guys.
Oh.
So it's like
yeah, I had to let it go.
I was gonna sing it. I can't. Da 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 da. See, when I went inner tubing, I really liked it. I just hated the sweaty part.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, you get a little clammy because you're out in the sun and.
Oh, that's why I like going swimming, because you don't have to worry about the clammy part. It's just the swimmy part. You're wet, but you dry off and you don't get all sweaty. It's nice. It's nice. But yeah, we swim, and we what else do we do? Oh, we'll play games. Like there'll be card games, or there'll be you sit and chat and sing songs at the fire, and you have a fire, and we'll make like scrambled eggs and bacon for breakfast, and you'll have some sandwiches for lunch, and there will typically be one of any number of dinners. There's a cowboy dinner where you put some sliced carrots and onions in the bottom of a tinfoil thing with a hamburger, and we like to use sliced potatoes in there too, and you fold it all up and stick it in the fire and let it cook. And then there's of course the desserts, banana boats, where you put a banana and tinfoil, slice it open, and shove some marshmallows and chocolate in it. And you can make orange cakes, where you hollow out an orange and put some cake batter in it and bake that in the fire, and s'mores, of course. And then there's, it's kind of nice just sitting out in the middle of nowhere, and it's that quiet that you don't get anywhere else.
See, now that was there. Like that in Maine, I've experienced that in Maine, like Nana's cabin, or when I went to there's this place where Nana lives called the Blueberry, and
Mm.
everything in Maine is called the Blueberry, and it is like when you can to me one of the greatest experiences is just staring up at the stars and you don't hear
Anything. Yeah.
nothing but nature, and it just that is a level of peace,
Mm-hmm.
tranquility that I don't think enough people really understand.
Not too many people don't get to even experience it. It's that quiet in the dark. Because if you're in town all the time, you don't understand what real dark is. Because it is
Somewhat scary.
dark. It is. It can be very scary, actually. One year, Mom and I drove out of town, just not that far, maybe 20 miles out of town, because we were trying to see some. It was probably some shooting stars, I think, that time. And so we get out there and we pull into this little road. You got to be careful what roads you pull onto out here, because you don't want to be pulling down some farmer's road. They don't like that. They will absolutely shoot you. But pulling down a little access road, that's cool. So you got to be real careful about that. But if you pull off into a little access road and then you turn off your lights and turn off the car, the darkness that descends upon you is almost palpable. You can almost feel how dark it is.
You literally do feel the weight of the darkness. Like, so there's a place called the Scituate Reservoir in Rhode Island, and it is way up in the backwoods. There is almost no shade street lights. All you got to do if you want to take your life in your hands, especially because people speed down that back road, just turn off all the lights.
Mm-hmm.
And there are plenty of places. So that's what I'm very used to it, because Rhode Island is like that. You can go from extremely populated and urban to backwoods rural like that. There's so many streets, main roads you can get on that are like that. And one of the ways I felt it here, one, the road that I live off of very much can go like that very quickly. And two, when I drove, there was a friend that I had that I made on Facebook, and yes, I went and met her in real life, but I knew she was who she said she was. And I went and I stayed a few days there in the mountains in Cary. And I told Starman this. I was like, this is like when I went in the mountains, and it was terrifying. One of the most terrifying things I ever did was drive that way, because it was so quiet and dark, and you physically can feel the darkness like pressing on you.
Yeah, it sits on you.
Yeah, and you're the only set of headlights on a tiny mountain road with a very deep drop off.
Oh yeah, I actually liked that driving.
I kept wondering when Bigfoot was gonna pop out. I was like, "Where's the beam? They're gonna come take me away!" And like, it was terrifying, beautiful, but terrifying.
Yep.
And I experienced that over this week with Starman. He picked a restaurant called Spit Rails. Now, I will grant them this; they were good. We ain't ever going to Spit Rails again the way that we went. I will happily go all the way around, go through Dollywood, drive entirely through Dollywood, and go back up the ass way rather than go straight through the mountains. Because when I tell you guys, we went down a two-way road that was barely wide enough for our car, and our car is a Korean car. I don't scare easy. You guys have seen me. I'm pretty level. I was like this the whole time. I was in the middle. I was trying to do something. I think I was actually trying to type to Esteban at the time. There was a question someone had typed to me. I was in the middle of trying, and I was like, because I needed to witness our death. I needed to witness. He's like, you have no faith in me. It is not you I don't have faith in, but I have more faith in gravity. I am watching the road. Because the thing is, I've driven this. I know how bad it is. So a British wide road. Exactly, Shadow. But the thing is, these roads were made when cars were made. Or at least carriages. There's no reason. And so No reason for this fuckery, this tomfoolery that they had upon us. And it was a 30-minute drive. It wasn't, no, it's a minute away. No, this was 30 minutes. Oh, and if you have Bank of America, you better make sure all your money is in your bank or connect all your banks digitally before you go to Gatlinburg. Because guess what's the one bank not in Gatlinburg?
Seriously?
The one bank. The closest one was in Nashville. I ain't driving a fucking hour for an ATM.
Wow. Yeah, there's I feel on the way down to Vegas when we drove down there, poor sheep. Oh, yeah. There are winters. There are roads like that here.
There's roads like that here too. Like they exist. But the roads that exist here don't have a 30-foot drop off or more without guardrails. These ones did. And on top of that, see, what Silvar is saying, these are roads I'm going to instill this in any of my lead foots, because I am a lead foot. I speed. I don't give a fuck. However, these are roads where absolutely, if the speed limit says 15, do 14. These are roads. You listen. Because Starman was not used to it. And he was going 30, 40, and I was like, I was being 100% backseat driver. I was like, honey, you are going 20 and it says 15. Cass, I know what I'm doing. Honey, you are going 20, it says 15. Like, and he was getting so mad at me, but it's like, there was one time where thank God he was going the speed limit, because it was a tight turn, and right as we turned, everyone was stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had been going any faster, we would have rear-ended people. Like, we don't understand how dangerous mountain roads really are, guys. Like, they're bad.
They can be really bad, yep.
I'm getting anxiety just remembering this. Because, like, it was, what, Axel? What?
Sheep and I were on our way down to Las Vegas, and that's normally, a straight-through drive. But I got really tired about 11, 12 o'clock at the night, and we would just hit Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, it should be okay. It should be straight enough that we can deal with this. In our relationship, Sheep doesn't get to drive much. I'm usually the driver. And I had forgotten how twisty and turny the roads through the mountains in Arizona were. And the entire time we're driving through, every time he hits a turn, I'm like, okay, you need to touch the brake a little, and then you speed up through the turn. And this is why I'm half falling asleep at the same time. I am literally falling asleep while critiquing his driving the entire time. And every time the car even kind of wiggles wrong, I kind of jerk awake, and yes, I'm just like, now how fast are you going? You might be going too fast, and
fight is starting to kick in.
You can turn on the cruise control, and maybe you shouldn't use the cruise control because it's starting to feel like we're going too fast.
I told you, she and I were separated at birth.
The entire last, 2-3 hours of the drive, I'm just hounding the poor man the entire time while falling asleep.
When I tell you, I feel your pain. I know what you went through.
We get to my brother's house, we get out of the car, and I apologize to him. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey, I just couldn't. I couldn't help it.
I was like, I told you. I have my reasons. I want us to live. I want to see year 12.
I apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey. I couldn't. I didn't mean to.
That's too funny. I would have pulled and pushed you both out the car. There was nowhere to pull over.
We were at least on a highway, so.
And it was
God.
I tell you, it was the road and then just nothing but trees.
No, I've been there. I've been on those roads before.
And it wasn't even like the road, it was the road. And so
and it was the road, and then this is your side of the road.
exactly. And then the thing is like nowhere to pull over. Okay, just push out the car. It was so much. But I can now show you guys. I went through my Facebook and I've located photos. Now, ignore how I look in this photo. You can tell I look a little swollen. That was back when I had an allergic reaction to a mosquito.
Yeah.
So this is a shot of my ring. I can't zoom in anymore. It won't let me, but there's this shot. This is Axel. You're about to get put down.
Don't say that. He might take it wrong.
So this is me in 2011. So this
That's
is when
pretty.
I first got the ring. And this is a good shot of it. This is right after the Patriots won, and I was still at Mattress Firm. So I don't know how well you can see it, but there's my ring. And so
pretty.
you can see it's a little unique. And also the fact is I don't. Either way. So now you've seen it. I have often a lot of photos with it, but.
I don't know. Unlucky, can you?
I actually don't
I think
know.
you're in mine.
Usually, unless you're a moderator, you can't. Oof, those are the worst with the mosquitoes. I've never had it. That was after hurricane. When the hurricanes came to Florida and everything, that is when I got those reactions. Please don't kill Axel. You're gonna get put down.
Put the link in Gilded Unlucky and tag me, and I'll pull it up. I can do that.
Let me check your belly. Well, I've got you over here. He doesn't like when I don't give him all the attention when he's up here. So what he does is he shoves aside like everything. So if the mouse is in front of him, he suddenly starts putting his paws on it. If the keyboard is anywhere near him, he starts shoving at it. He will start putting his claws all over the microphone, the camera, you name it. He starts fucking with it.
Sounds like a cat. Let's see here. I need to send you the rest of those pictures so we can show them.
Man, his talons are bad. I gotta get them clipped. Don't you claw at me. I will put you down on the floor. Stop that. I'm supposed to be drawing. You're taking
what I was doing. Nah, he's a cat. What do you expect?
Starson, pick a color for a wax seal. Always blue. Something pretty and blue. Maybe iridescent.
She very much likes blue.
I have every color you can think of for wax seals. I just don't use them because I'm not sending anything. Oh, by the way, guys, if you craft anything, I'm making sure people know now. If you craft anything, and you like are getting ready to sell for the holiday season, like if you make shirts, if you make jewelry, anything that you sell, make sure you let me know. I want to give free advertising to my for my followers on my videos. Just if I'm not getting sponsorships, I might as well help somebody else out. So if you would like to share something, excuse you, sir. I require the space for my mouse. Oh, yes. Tell us about him.
All right. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is a male ring-necked pheasant. We found him in the side yard on Tuesday. Would have been Tuesday. And he was actually, I'll show you a little bit later where we found him. But he was trapped over in the corner, and Sydney was he wasn't hurting him. I'm not sure if he was licking him or what, but he was definitely very interested in the bird. It's actually a really young one. You can see here, I got one. This is like 2 hours later after he stopped playing dead because he was playing dead.
Can we blame him though?
Huh?
Can we blame him?
Oh, hell no. I'm still trying to figure out how he got in my side yard. He had to get over a 6-foot fence, and pheasants are typically ground birds.
Right.
So they can fly, but they don't normally. So how he got in my yard, I don't know. I don't know how I got I'm wondering if like Vincent chased him in and then Sydney cornered him. But he was playing dead in the side yard. This is him.
He is so pretty though.
He was very pretty, but he's actually very young. They actually get much bigger.
I was like, he didn't look very big.
This is him. I was videoing him from inside the house. And there's the dogs being upset because they want to get to him. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah.
We can't hear it, but
Here, let me play that again full screen.
The volume's not on. I don't know why.
I don't know. It's fine. All you're hearing is a little whining and some feet scrambling on the...
It failed to answer correctly at the mountain pass and was catapulted into your yard.
And then this is after, because I had opened the gate trying to get him in, or to go through the gate over here. Bird is stupid as fuck.
He was panicking. Leave him alone. He was a baby.
Yeah. And you still can't hear because I just called him retarded. Now this is where, this right here, this corner is where I found him, where he just shoved his head over there.
Look at all the feathers he knocked out too.
But we actually found him laying sideways up against that brick there. And
poor guy. I'm betting that's how he got in. It's gotta be.
I don't think so, because he's not going to fit through there. He can't fit through that spot.
I think getting in was probably easier than getting out. It looks like it, because why else would you try through that little gap? There was a bigger gap where the door is open.
Because he's retarded.
He's not. You leave my boy alone.
He's retarded. He's literally retarded.
You leave my boy alone. He's a beautiful, beautiful soul.
Who's retarded? What's your point?
He's a smart boy. He knew to play dead.
And then I had, we had a towel that we'd been using to move him. Because last thing you want to do is actually touch a living bird.
Yeah, because they come with all sorts of fun things.
They come with fun things. Plus, those feet still have claws on them. And that beak can still cause damage.
I absolutely have picked up living bird. I don't think during the moment I have grabbed living geese. I have grabbed goslings. I have grabbed birds. I just kind of grab because I'm like, it's too much time. I've grabbed possums. I've grabbed snakes. I've grabbed raccoons.
Yeah, I try very hard to consider my and their safety.
I usually, I've already, all right, so.
And there he goes. He's free.
But see, this is an idea that I have. He's so mad. Look at, he's like, oh, you assholes. Went through so much.
And he's waddling just a little bit. His gait was a little off. But then the part that doesn't show on the camera, he goes over to that gate and or goes over to my car, that gray car in the back there.
Uh-huh.
It's my car. He sits right next to my car. And he's there for another half hour as I go in the house and get Sydney and go to leave for work.
Right.
And oh no, sorry, it was Bruce that day. And as we were going to the car, he's still sitting there by my car. The little fucker runs under my car. So I'm like, fuck, how am I going to get this dumbass bird out from under my car? And so I think I'd called my mom to ask her some question, or she called me. And so I answered my phone, or actually, I answered my watch because my watch is attached to my phone.
Right.
And we have a quick conversation, and Sheep tries to call me while I'm talking to mom. At that point, I get in the car. I get Sydney or Bruce into the car, and I call Sheep back. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just calling to tell you that the bird ran out from under your car and down the street." I'm like, great. Good. He's gone. Thank
One
God.
problem solved.
He's still fucking alive. Sydney didn't need him, and we're all good.
All's good in the hood.
Yep, yep.
See, so my idea, and Starman has vehemently warned me, do not buy all these items at the same time, is I wish to have a animal emergency kit in my car.
That'd be nice.
Now, this is going to make sense, but also sound really bad. I wish to get rope, bungee cords, thick gloves, a shovel, like emergency lights, and the bird is smart when fly when fly when you can try.
Not getting in my fucking car.
Honestly, exactly. Maybe for all you know, that was a human stuck in a bird body, and that's why he just wasn't understanding. Okay. I was also going to get a large tarp, some bags, and have these all in a duffel, in my trunk. And my husband says to me, "You need to make sure you don't buy all those items at the same time."
Buy them all at the same time, and then video the cashiers you're taking.
And the thing is, I'm not thinking. I'm like, what the hell? Oh.
It'd only be bad if you were like buying lye or something at the same time.
Right. Because the thing is, so in case you guys are wondering why, is because if there's an animal in the road, if it's a snake, the shovel is really good because I can use the shovel to just toss the snake out of the road. The thick gloves are really good. And the rope is really good if it's a deer. Because 9 out of 10, even if it's a couple of 100 pounds, if the deer is in the road, you put some rope around its ankles and you yank really hard, or around the antlers and you yank. You can usually get it out of the road. That's what the tarp is for as well. If I can just use the shovel, shove it onto the tarp, pull the tarp. One way or another, I'm getting something out of the road. That is why all these items are really good. Also having the emergency blinkers and all those things. So these are all really good things if you are someone who often interacts with wild animals, as usually is the case with me. One of the largest animals I've ever met, I've never seen one this big since, but I knew a skunk.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Like from, I would say nose to butt, was already about that long. He was huge. He was gigantic. And he lived in the side of my house, and he got a Dunkin' Donuts cup stuck in his face once. And he was out in the middle of the road in front of my house.
Oh.
And so the whole traffic is stopped on the main road in front of my house, and no one's willing to go to the skunk
and help him out.
I ran right up. I grabbed the cup off of his face, and then I ran. I was like, ah! Thankfully, he got himself oriented, and he ran off, and I was like, see,
that would be a fun road.
It is beautiful. Oh, also, it felt like I was in a car commercial all the time.
Yeah.
Because I actually had the people at the cabin place saying a lot of the car companies come up to Gatlinburg because that's where that's where they film those commercials, guys. They film them on mountain roads. That's where you see it. Like literally, I could hear Toyota, and like I could hear them as I was driving. Get the new Hyundai. Like I could hear it in my head. That's beautiful. Now, who sent that photo?
That's Unlucky.
Unlucky. That is gorgeous. Is that where you live? It keeps going further up. Wow. Where are we? I
know he's in Norway, so.
So it's got to be in Norway then. Star should have crossed herself before grabbing the cup off of the skunk.
Oh, he lives a few hours away from it, so yeah, it's in Norway.
Again, Silvar. If you guys haven't caught on to a lot of the things that I do, i.e. the walnut story at the beginning, sometimes when I am in the moment, I'm just doing. Not really worried. I'm sending a postcard and a keychain. Aw, thank you, honey. Teeny, envelope size, happy package. Happy packages are happy. Looks like a road for Finnish drivers. Well, I mean, it's close enough. Norwegian.
Finnish, Norwegian. Is there really that much of a difference? And Unlucky's probably sitting over there seething now.
Like, excuse you. Well, it's like when people say to me, you're from New York, and I'm like, I'm not from New York. And they're like, where? Rhode Island. Same difference.
Finnish drivers, vodka drivers better not try.
Wowie! Yep, there you go.
Say it to him. I would, but you're in Norway.
It's gonna be a long trip, I'm gonna tell you that.
I mean, I'd love to go to Norway, but
I love the puff. How
know.
dare you?
He plays 7 Days to Die with us, so one of the guys is constantly making fun of his accent because he has a very heavy Norwegian accent.
I feel your pain, my friend. Everyone makes fun of my accent too. Hold on, I gotta. Okay, good. I paused it. I've got something to show you guys that I think I think you're gonna enjoy this. So Starman showed this to me earlier.
You live in Bergen. Cool.
I don't know what that is.
It's a city.
Really?
Yeah. In Norway.
She said the bird was retarded. Hold on, I got something to show you guys. Hold on. See where is it? Okay.
Toy for my child. No problem, we've got heaps of those. $5. Hi, I'd like to buy this soft toy for my dog.
That'll be $38.
What the heck? It's the same thing. What? Hi, I would like to buy a whole leg of lamb on the bone for my human family. We can just weigh that? Sure, $20. Hi, I'd like to buy a bone for my dog. I don't need meat on it.
$44.
But
That's better.
Oh God.
But so far, painfully accurate.
Yee.
it's just the bone. What the I would like to buy 3 tennis balls, the same ones they use at the Australian Open. That's $11. Hi, I'd like to buy 3 tennis balls for my dog. Beep, beep, beep.
$25.
What the? Can I play tennis with them?
There's no way. Doesn't even bounce.
What the Hi, could I just get a haircut? We can do that for $15. Hi, just looking for a haircut for my dog.
$85. Oh no, hang on. It's a large dog. $185.
And the worst thing is, as pet people, I guarantee she and I could justify at least 2 of these things.
I can justify the tennis balls and the grooming. That's it.
Those are the 2 that I can justify too. It's like they know they've got us and they actually give us reasons to say yes.
Right.
It gets better, guys.
$185. I'd like to buy this collar for me, a human. $5. Hi, just wanted to get this collar for my dog.
$60.
It's the same. What the Hi, I'd like to buy a pack of 50 nappies for my human child. $19. Just a pack of 50 puppy nappies, thanks.
$60.
What's the difference beside the hole for the tail? What the Hi, I need to worm my human children. Ooh, $6. Hi, just need to worm my dog.
$91.50 for a small dog.
What the Hi, I just need to see a human doctor. Free. We bulk bill here. Sit. Hi, I just need to see a dog doctor for my dog.
Sell me a kidney.
Kidney? What's that worth?
Well, we're going to dehydrate it, wrap it in a little bit of plastic, slap on a barcode, and sell it for $6,846.20.
Are you serious? Medicare covers a kidney transplant. Come on, Mr. Snuffles, we don't need these doggy-style pet treats. You prefer the reverse cowgirl ones anyway, don't you?
Oh God.
You prefer the reverse cowgirl anyway.
Yeah. It's way too accurate. Painfully accurate.
Is that Dylan Mulvaney's twin? It's the prettier one. saw this earlier. Starman showed it to me, and I was gone. And the worst thing is like she said. So the three that I can justify, sadly, are the ball, the grooming, and the diapers. And here's why: a lot of folks don't realize all diapers contain some type of chemical. Because how do you think all that piss stays in it? Like, really? And certain chemicals react badly. Like, I have a niece who she was really like it was bad for her skin. And she would get like burns all over her booty from certain diapers. So I understand the dog diapers, the tennis balls for why he said they don't bounce. The tennis balls for dogs don't contain the same toxic gases in them that tennis balls for human play does. So when your dog uses a tennis ball, they can get really, really sick, and even it can accumulate and they can die. And the problem with dog grooming, unlike with human grooming, is it's all over and it takes several hours, whereas a human haircut can take less than 20 minutes if done right. That's why if you go to a salon and get your hair done, however, like you get washed, you get a treatment, you get quit ruining humor, Star. I'm just saying.
We understand why it's funny, but we also understand why some of these cost more. Like the tennis balls, there's the gas thing, and then there's also the fact that they tend to be a thicker rubber because a big dog will just kill an actual tennis ball. I mean, split it in nothing and potentially choke on it. A dog tennis ball will be made of a thicker rubber that they're less likely to be able to do that to.
And
it's
a safer rubber.
Kind of important. And the haircut thing, I groom my own dogs. It takes me much more time to groom my dogs than it takes me to groom myself. Though I will say, when I do see the stylist, it costs me more to see her than it does for my dogs to be groomed.
I agree. The dog collar one is so accurate.
Yeah, right.
The dog collar one is so funny because it's so accurate, because you can literally go and get the same exact things for people, which is weird, and it's half the price. And the funny thing is, so like the other day when I went into PetSmart, so this whole bin full of these really high quality harnesses and collars, and just because they're out of season. And I'm like, listen, these dogs are not walking down a fucking runway. Just make them that price to begin with, damn it.
Right. Well, and who cares if their dogs... I bought Sydney a Halloween collar because I want him to wear a Halloween collar all year round. I also bought him a Freddy Krueger t-shirt, so...
I will tell you right now, I am that dog owner. When I had just Greta had Halloween stuff, Christmas stuff. Orion ruined all that. But, now that he is getting older and slightly less destructive, and of course now when I make less money, I want to start getting Greta holiday stuff again, and even stuff for him. Just because
I would like to buy everybody here Halloween costumes.
Oh my god, your crew would be so cute in like matching Halloween.
I don't know where I have them. I don't think I have them available right now. But Sophie, years ago, I had her dressed up in a little not sailor. Was that Sophie? No, I think that was a picture of Karana.
Why is that the first thing you found, Esteban? I'm judging. Like how you froze her. You broke her for a minute.
Either way. Yeah, I have pictures of Sophie as a pirate. Mm-hmm. There's one of her as a little maid, little like a German maiden. Yeah. I have pictures of Karana as a bumblebee. Hey, thank you, Warboy. We really appreciate that.
Warboy. Is that on Kick? Are you on Kick?
Oh, yeah, there's a butterfly. Yeah, I'm on Kick.
Thank you.
I have a butterfly costume I've had for years now, and I haven't actually done it, and I need to before she gets too old for me to do it anymore. I have a Wookiee costume, or an Ewok costume for Grace. or for Sophie, because she will make the best Ewok.
Do it. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
But yeah, I want to dress them all up. But the boys need boy costumes, you know? I don't want to be putting them in dresses and stuff.
So I really want to do like Greta as Mrs. Claus and Orion as a reindeer, and I technically have costumes for them. It just doesn't ever work because like Orion gets excited by the bells.
I actually one year crocheted Sophie and Faye Santa Claus hats. Like one was the Santa Claus hat, one was a Mrs. Claus hat.
You see, I can't do that shit.
It's not hard. It's not.
I can't do that shit.
Have you tried?
Yes. It's very confusing. Listen, everyone's got their own talents. You know what? Mine is not crocheting.
I think it
really
probably
have to do other things from my head in order to be able to do that.
I think it probably helps that I've been learning how to do it since I was like 7. So
Yes, see. I wouldn't buy a neck taser. Listen, I think the lady doth protest too much, Esteban.
look, what you and your fiance do, that's your business.
No business.
We know.
We love you anyway, Esteban. We judge, but we love.
We judge you because we love you.
Greta did have a Christmas cape. I don't know if it fits her anymore.
Oh.
Like, again, some stuff got destroyed over the years. Every time PetSmart releases like a bunch of cute shit, my eyes light up and I have to remind myself that I don't have the money for it.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing the last few times. We've been going into the spirit of Halloween every weekend.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I love the stuff.
I know, but
and I want to take it all home.
I know.
But I can't. But
I had to settle for like my little Dollar Tree decorations that I did. Like, guys, when I tell you my decorations are chintzy, but I'm so happy that at least when I come to my house, I've got Halloween on my door.
I really should do something for here. Because I should. I want to start decorating again. I haven't really decorated the house in over a decade. And this year I want to do the whole thing, at least as much as I can. We don't really have the room for a Christmas tree, but I do want to do like, garland and bows and that shit.
You need to. Like, I already am trying to convince Starman, although now obviously we're missing shit like a key to get in. Hello, Lico.
Hey, how you doing?
Whatchamacallit. I have to convince him, but I very much want to. I want to decorate for everything this year. We discovered last year that we can at least make it with a Christmas tree. Now, more than likely, by the time Christmas comes around, the boys will be out. So that's a little terrifying. It's a little terrifying. Also, I found this really cute Christmas tree holder.
Oh.
And it is all metal, and it looks like the bottom of a tree with roots coming out. Gorgeous. $750.
Yeah, it sounds really fucking adorable.
So it's not that gorgeous. Like, it's beautiful. We were on the way back from Gatlinburg, and I looked at it, I was like, this is beautiful. You're not $750 beautiful. Oh, no.
No, I was just thinking maybe I'll go and buy some green garland and just do a Christmas tree on the wall out of it.
I have done that, and it can be super cute if you do it right.
Or maybe not green.
Super cute.
I really like to do it in black personally, so.
I will say it doesn't look... So I did it in black one year, and I did it in green the next year. The black doesn't look as good.
I have a nice light colored wall, and I have these really nice decorations because I actually have a tuxedo black Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So I have these little clear balls that I stuck feathers in with some silver glitter and stuff. And I think that I could probably make that work.
Looks at my hoard of garland. Let me tell you something. Like, I want to get more, and depending on... Because I have a really nice Christmas tree. It's a Martha Stewart one. You got to assemble it, though. And last year... the cats were such a pain in the ass. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a big poster board and flatten, because what I do is, so where I've got this big brick wall in my kitchen, and that's where I like putting my Christmas tree.
Hey,
Hi,
Shaq.
Tags. That's where I like putting my Christmas tree. The issue that I am having, I don't know, because the dogs were so good with it. I don't know. I am at a conundrum here, kids. I'm at a conundrum. I still don't know what I'm gonna do. I've got to wait and see. Sinbad is so heavy, and Nova's heavier than, and I really don't want them breaking this tree. I can't afford to replace the tree right now, guys. You don't understand. And I do not want to get a natural tree because there's a lot of insects that live in North Carolina.
And my first thought is cats and pine sap.
That's honestly not the biggest worry I have, because I had it back in Rhode Island for years. We had a natural tree every year, and pine sap was one of the last things we worried about because they usually drain them. Especially because by the time they get to us here, these trees have already been through a fuck ton. Like, they've traveled down a mountain, they've been sitting for days. The two
I guess maybe they must not be as dry as when I get home.
Oh, yeah, we get them dry. Here, they is dead. But the problem is they don't check for bugs like they do. Number one, it's in the middle of winter here, can still have insects. And the thing is, insects will hatch really easily here. So all I gotta do is bring in a tree that happened to have a nest of something. Use your imagination. And the thing is, we've got widows here. What do widows throw in? Wood. So that's why it's like, I love natural trees. Nothing smells better to me than, ow, that kind of hurt, than that bang with my elbow. Look at this. You can really see how much the fat is just
You really have, yeah. Of course, you're saying that, and I'm thinking there's usually an Uptown Optimist sale here where they do Christmas trees and stuff. I could actually buy natural garland and do that for the tree instead.
You should do that.
Ideas.
Get the little get those little, like, what's the wall hook?
Command strips.
Command. Get a little command ones with the hooks.
They don't work so well because our walls are textured.
They got the textured ones too.
They do?
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that.
And one for texture, and what you could do is literally just put 3, hook the garland onto it that way, and you're great.
Yeah.
I love natural trees, but plastic trees get less bugs. Plastic trees get lots of less bugs. The problem is that the plastic trees are held together by metal, and when you've got 13-pound cats that are all muscle, and they think the center of that tree is just the bee's knees to climb, that is the problem that I have.
And then you hang anything on it, and it just gets
worse. I
didn't.
I bought this absolutely nifty LED light set.
Uh-huh.
It is a hoop, and the LED strings hang down from this hoop. You put the hoop on top of the tree, you assemble the strips, and you've got a fully lit tree within seconds. I love it. It was my favorite thing I ever bought. I want to buy one for here because, as you guys know, my LEDs are gone. So, my cats keep destroying shit. Do you know I had to leave my keyboard and my mouse unplugged while I was gone?
Seriously?
So the other day, I came in. There was something I needed to do, and I couldn't get the computer working. I was trying to edit because I did a quick videos. As you guys know, I released 3 videos this week. I recorded them right after getting off stream on here, I believe.
Yep.
I recorded 3 or 4 videos, and then I went to bed. The next day, I was to get up and edit. The keyboard wasn't working. It's lit differently now. I don't know how to put it back the way it was. Starman figured out how to at least get it close to what it was. This is not how it used to be lit.
Ooh.
They changed settings. They knocked off keys. And the keyboard wasn't working.
Ugh.
And they had opened up shit. They almost deleted shit. And so I said to Starman, when we leave, because he figured it out, we had it working, and then the next day, I forget what it was. That's one of the reasons why I couldn't stream on time as well. I had to do an event, and there was a whole thing. It was... When we left, I yanked everything out. I was like, I cannot risk what they gonna do, because I came in and Calliope fully lays on my keyboard. She just sleeps right across it. This is, mind you, after she causes all this shit right here in the cubby. Just smart case. Oh yeah, brilliant, genius.
They're great, really.
I love my animals. Make no bones about it. Those are my babies. I love them, and I will do anything for them. But motherfucker, stop messing with my shit. The other day, my boss realized how much money I spent on Penny last year.
Oof.
She wasn't happy. She's like, or a cat? And I was like, yes. She goes, just let it die. And I was like, you don't understand. It doesn't work in my book. And the thing is, it's not that she doesn't like animals. Most people don't understand. I don't know how many people think the way you and I do. But I technically had money in savings. And the only reason I even needed to recoup it from people last year was because like it was money I needed for things I had to do. And so I was like, all right, I'll recoup it. And I still didn't recoup enough. I just stopped taking donations. I was like, this is enough. This is too much. And I still didn't recoup enough. And on top of that, she doesn't know how much I spent on Axel. Penny and Axel are my two most expensive animals. Axel, I spent a grand total of $4,000 on.
That's not bad.
It's not, to us, it's not bad.
I say knowing my parents probably spent about $6,000 keeping one of my cats alive.
Right.
So
when she found out that I spent 15 on Penny, 1,500, not 1,000.
Okay. That's not as, I was about to go, well, that might be that's pushing it just a little, but
oh, on animals a year, I have no idea. I don't keep track of that. I know that so vet bills I rarely have. My animals are extremely healthy. I almost never have to take them to the vet. And if your animals don't go outside except to like go to the bathroom, which is my dogs are the only ones that do that, you don't really need to get vaccines every year either. So hold on, I gotta calculate this. I don't know if you know the number. Go ahead and state your number while I'm doing this.
I mean, I know my dogs everybody's fully vaccinated, so that's, let's say, about $100 a dog, so about $500. That's assuming I don't have a puppy where I have to do multiple shots over those first 4 months. If I do, I would say, well, that doesn't even account for the cat, so that's 700. Like we'll say 850 on vet shots, and that doesn't account for emergencies, and then about $160 on food that was 160. It's gonna be about $85 on food every month now that I've cut them down to feeding them only measured feedings.
Once a day.
Mine are eating twice a day, but it's only like it's like a half a cup, or well, it's about a cup each every day. So it's only going to be about $85 a month. So multiply that by 12.
So mine is about $4,000 a year. And that's calculating in, and it's not even monthly because my litter is really good that it can last sometimes over a month, sometimes two if I'm cycling. So if I spend $100 a month, although I will say, since Biden took office, when Biden took office, okay, my dog food was $29 to $35 a bag. That same exact dog food is now $65 a bag. Okay, so that's doubled in price. The cat food is not; it only went up about $10. It used to be $24. Now it's $34. So thank God for that. With the cat wet food went up about $1 each can. Used to be about $2 a can. Now it's about $3 to $4 a can. And now that I have the amount of cats that I have, I went up to the 10-ounce cans. So those are about $6 a can. That's very recent though. So if we and the litter that I used to be $8 a bag. And no, Faye, I haven't heard from Peachy. But remember, she kind of goes quiet when she's stressed. I'm giving it another day or two before I really blow her up.
Hey, Mo, fuck you.
Wait, what?
someone from Kick just
Oh, okay.
sent the little thing that Moon made me.
Whatchamacallit? So if we calculate my dog's food, roughly I go about $100 a month on my dog food. It's about 60 to 80 a month for the dry, another 50 to 60. My issue was not resolved, Faye Queen. I still have not found it. I told everyone at the beginning of the stream. She knows that last night. It's why I wasn't on. Kept looking all day. It's why nothing got done today. This is the same artwork I started when I left last week. Still not done. But whatchamacallit? So yeah, if you calculate the litter costs about $150 when I have to replace all the boxes. Total, I would say about $4,000 a year is how much I spend on my pets, which is nothing. Like, it's just not. There are much more expensive things that I spend money on that I really wish I didn't have to. Thought I got something on my phone. I did not. I realized that was the person's screen name, right? I wasn't sure when she said it. Oh, you sent them on my. Oh, you sent all the pheasant things on my phone again. That's it. I
sent them to
Don't mind us. We have to calculate. It shuts our brains off. There was
I was reading more JAMA from my dog club again.
God. Yeah, that was something she posted about. And quick question: did you look at the girl? You know, I barely got the time for anything.
Uh-oh.
What I did all day, what I do when I'm stressed and I'm in between, you know, I read books.
That's good.
That is what I do. And I powered through 30 chapters in one day.
Wow.
To give you an idea. So, and I've got another book waiting for me when we get off stream. But yeah. There has been a lot of infighting lately all over the place.
Oh yeah, everywhere.
It's very disconcerting. And this was why, okay, low back to a few months ago, guys. I embraced chaos last night. Low back to a few months ago when it feels like years ago, the Crowder and Daily Wire drama erupted.
Mm-hmm.
All this happening now is why I still stand true with this should have happened behind closed doors. Because it created a chasm in the right. Because these were the two major people in the right. And it created a crazy chasm. Crazy. Because it allowed, like, I got very upset. The other day, Crowder had Fresh and Fit, of all fucking people, on his show.
Yep.
And I'm like, I wouldn't mind. But these people are subhuman. I'm sorry, they are. Their idea, they prey on men. They steal their money.
Yep.
They lie to them.
Yep.
Tate uses women.
Oh my God. Women and men. He uses everybody.
But that's the thing. He creates literally the exact women he claims he doesn't like. He creates them and then uses them to prey on men. And it's like...
Then people wonder why I don't like him.
And then assholes like Pearl, who claim that she doesn't like men being victimized and tricked, then supports people like Tate, who gladly trick men.
And people make excuses for him, and that's the part that pisses me off the most. Is that people will make excuses for, well, they shouldn't. Well, you know what? Just because one person shouldn't do that doesn't mean that the other person deserves to get tricked. I mean, it's
not whether or not thoughts existed. Thoughts and man whores have existed throughout time, Sleazy. The point is, He is helping to create a problem and then manufacturing the solution. That is the problem. These are the people who literally sit there and say, oh, women are terrible. Women use men for money. They lie to men. They trick them into falling in love. They become single mothers. And then what he says, women should be virgins, but he has them sex with them on the first date. No, he didn't crowd on them. He didn't crowd them at all. He took them on and whatchamacallit. He took them on and then actually gave credence to what they say.
It doesn't matter which women they're talking about.
I don't care if it's American women. The thing is, whores exist in every country, Sleazy. It's hilariously naive to believe that just because we're women in America, that we're bad. Brazilian women and Colombian women are known for tricking men and literally stealing shit from them and then running off after sleeping with them. There are women who do the exact same thing in third world countries. Like, I will tell you right now, my boss is originally from a third world country. And a lot of the women there are vicious. They not only are they not virgins most of the time, but on top of that, they're very abusive to their husbands. And it's expected that you get that abuse. So I think it's hilarious. Everyone's like, oh, it's Western women. No, just because you had a shitty time with Western women doesn't mean all Western women are bad. We are Western women. And we're very typical Western women. The thing is, Fresh and Fit and Tate only go to metropolitan areas with a lot of party girls. If you're in Miami and you're expecting to find a wholesome girl, that's your fault. You went to Thought City and said, why am I only finding thoughts? And that's the thing. Don't go to a party place and expect to find a wife.
And it goes if you can't go to a party place and expect to find a husband either. All of these things go both ways. It's not a one side or other side, and that's part of what they are perpetuating is the us versus them issue. It's not an us versus them thing. You cannot go out and sleep with a woman on the first date and then say, "Oh, but I want a virgin." That's bullshit. You can't go out and say, "Oh, I want a girl who's going to do this, that, or the other," and then make them do the same thing. I mean, it's ridiculous.
The thing is, Sleazy, and I think you were the one I was talking with on Twitter about it because they had the same names, is he brought up a big blanket of things, and I was in the middle of like all the shit going on last week, and I'm trying to answer him while I'm in the middle of doing all this stuff. The point is, the statistics of divorce, women may start it, but every time I've looked at the statistics, it shows lack of commitment and infidelity as the reasons women leave a marriage because their men couldn't stay loyal.
I've been divorced, so.
And the thing is, Fresh and Fit promote being disloyal in a marriage. They promote men being able to fuck around on the wife and the woman should just take it. They promote that man should be able to go spread his seed wherever he wants, have as many mistresses as he wants, and a woman should just take it. That is exactly how you create more thoughts. A man whore is still a whore just as a woman whore is a whore. It doesn't change. That doesn't become better. Women don't want men who sleep around. That is a lie that is perpetuated by party and fuckboys. We don't want whores because the thing is, if we know you've dipped your stick multiple times, we don't know what came out. We don't know what came with you. We also don't know how many kids might be going 10 years from now knocking on your door for child support. We don't want any of that. Women that you want to wife up don't want that. My husband can have a girlfriend and she's my girlfriend too.
And if you're into that, that's fine. That's your life.
That's your life. But that's the thing.
If another woman touches my man, she's losing her hands.
Here's what I'll tell you. My husband's losing something first. Then I might...
Everybody's losing something eventually in my world, but...
Something's going wrong. Someone's getting punched and I don't care who. And so the thing is, when you date, yes, and we know women lie with their lawyers to get... And men lie. The thing is, Sleazy, that's very one-sided. You're acting like it, like... And again, this is what the original comment you commented to me too, was the fact is, we need to stop pitting one against the other. Both are wrong in different ways.
Yep.
And unless you acknowledge that there are wrongs on both ends, and we stop pitting men and women against each other, it's never going to stop. The only thing you keep doing is saying, well, it's Western women. Okay, so then that must mean we're just as bad. Then why are you even here? If we're part of the problem, then why are you even here? Because that's the thing, we're not. Most women are like us. When you look at these podcasts, a lot of them, the Fresh and Fit, the Pearls, the Tates, they purposely get vapid party girls who have high body counts. How many times on Fresh and Fit they pick women that are from sugar baby sites? They're picking women that literally only want that.
Hold on. No, this is not defending women. We have literally said that women who do that shit are bad. This is not about defending women. It's about the fact that people need to realize both sides do it. People do not call out men about being whores. They don't.
No.
It's okay for a man to be a whore to other men for whatever reason. It's not okay for a woman to be a whore, but you still want to sleep with them on the first date.
The reason why I'm bringing
explain
up
that
women is because if you defend or even say that these guys are right in any way, yeah, I'm going to prove where they're not right. But the thing is, everything I'm saying, take out men, insert women. Do you want a woman who's been around with a bunch of guys? No. Do you want a woman who potentially has an STD? No.
Will you admit that we're right about men at the same time, or is it just that we have to admit that you're right?
Then why argue with my statements? Because number one, you're making it only about women. Why are you in a rush to only blame women? Why do you not say that it's both? Everyone else in chat agrees. Both are wrong and right. There are women who are right about it, but you know what? I don't say men ain't shit.
Is this Shags? I don't care where the fuck you admitted it. You're talking to us right now.
Exactly. Well, you said somewhere else. Am I on Shags? Am I Shags? No. Am I a mind reader? No. You can either have a conversation in good faith, or you can say, well, I said it somewhere else, so I don't have to say it here, and you just have to listen to what I got to say. That's not how it works in a conversation. That's, like I told you on Twitter, goal posting. Here's what I will tell you, sir. We're speaking from the women's perspective. As women who are traditional women, who believe in a traditional relationship.
It doesn't when you're in this conversation, no. This is a new conversation. It's like saying I told sheep that women were wrong, and that suddenly covers this conversation.
That's the thing. That'd be like me saying, well, off camera, you guys didn't hear about it, but I admitted something to horror off camera. Oh, you didn't know I admitted it? Oh, why didn't you know? This is the problem. You're sitting, because he claimed that this was me being emotional and me taking it as an insult. It's not. What it is you're not talking in good faith. You're expecting us to know about something you admitted to before we even know whether or not you admitted it based on what you're saying, when the only thing you're saying is that women are bad. Our star sign said that's where they are. Right. Here's what I will tell you, sir. I started this by saying you shouldn't be going to whores expecting a wife. Did I not? Does that sound like me defending women? Or does that sound like me saying you guys are expecting a woman who doesn't have the values you have, who doesn't have the goals you have, who is vapid, who has a high body count, and saying this is all women? You're going to a hotbed where it's one type of woman and saying this is how they all are when we're not. Admitting it in conversation elsewhere, did you expect them to use their crystal balls? Exactly.
I will say that it's good that you admit it somewhere.
Yes.
But when you're in another conversation to say, well, I told this other person that isn't the same as saying, yeah, men are bad too. It's a little different.
Brought up those points. It's still up. So this is what you like. This is what you do. You're like, oh, well, you didn't even keep on the same topic. You came in on the part where women are in divorce. Now you're mad we're not sticking on topic with Fresh and Fit. You constantly try to gotcha people. It's not funny or cute, and it doesn't create a good conversation. It creates animosity. We all can agree that men and women who like to sleep around and are afraid of commitment and do situationships are what's wrong with the dating world right now. It is what is wrong. You are goal posting. Because you just did it. You came into the conversation talking about divorce, and now you're going back saying, well, you weren't talking about Fresh and Fit. That is goalposting, sir. Because that is changing back the conversation and trying to make it like we weren't staying on topic. You came in talking about that, claiming Western women are the problem. You either want to stay on that one topic or you don't. Because the point is, at the end of the day, people like Tate, Pearl, and Fresh and Fit all create a narrative where it is never men at fault. Ever. But the problem is, when they say that, they then also, like Pearl, she takes away the validity of a man being a man when he is a simp. To her, any man, a simp, is a man that disagrees with her. All right, let's start with that. So if a man doesn't agree exactly what Pearl wants, now he's a simp. Mind you, he's not even simping for anyone. He's just saying, no, bitch, you're wrong. And she's like, oh, not even a man, it's a woman, it's a simp. So start with that. Then you go to Fresh and Fit, who literally sit there and tell men they're not manly if they have to pay for sex, while they're the ones going off and paying for sex. Start with that. They sit there and say that women who are sugar babies and are whores and that don't want to settle down, they're wrong. But then you literally got them on camera being confronted by a girl who said, you approached me on a sugar baby website, wanted me to be your sugar baby, and you couldn't afford my fee. So then you told me, come on here and sleep with me instead and be on my podcast. When the only women they show are women that are exactly the problem that they describe. The Whatever podcast is getting just as bad at that. And I enjoy the Whatever podcast, but they're getting just as bad. They only invite on stupid, vapid women. They're the reason Gorlock is known. I mean, let's really think about the height of their levels. And so you've got all these podcasts that create this narrative, and they seem to only find women who are like this. They don't show women like me. They don't show women who are older, married, who have kids, who have had successful marriages, or been successful in dating without sleeping around. They don't show successful business owners. They have women on there, like that one woman. I literally, if she was in front of me, I would have been like tempted to dent her face in. The one that's like, I broke his heart. It was fun. They bring broken, mentally damaged women onto these shows and then tell you this is all you can get. And then you listen to Pearl, and she says if the woman's not 25 and fertile, then you've got used goods anyway, even if she is a virgin. Go ahead, what you were saying.
The problem is that's the only women they seem to get. And not only does it tell men that's the only women that are out there, it tells women that that's the only type of woman you are. There are way more women out there that aren't like that than are. But when you are on social media, especially, when you see them show that type of woman over and over again, despite the fact they're not the majority of women, you're going to see that as everything. It's the same problem that they have with media and everything else. It's not true. Social media isn't reality. It's not. Doesn't matter how many podcasts you see these women on. It doesn't matter how many podcasters talk about these women being that way. It's not reality. It's not. Unfortunately, are there terrible, damaged, horrible women out there? Yes. Are there terrible, damaged, horrible men out there? Yes. Are there abusive people out there on both sides? Yes. Are there women who will take a man to court and take every dime he has? Yes. And there are men who will do the same damn thing, and they can, and they have. Is it a smaller amount? Yes. But that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And more to the point, I can honestly say I have for the longest time been someone who has been very vocal about the subjects of men's mental health, men's rights, and especially in the courts. And I'm getting really sick of, despite the fact I'm like that, only ever having to hear about the fact that all women are terrible. It's getting to the point that it's like, why do I bother supporting men? It's just like I understand when men say things like, It's when men say things like, why are we supporting women with this trans shit? Because they're getting tired of watching women just let these idiots walk over us. It makes sense. It's a normal thing. It's a human thing. The problem is that nobody ever steps back, takes a deep breath, and looks at reality. Because reality is different. Yes, do 50% of marriages fail? Yeah. But not 50% of marriages don't fail because it's always the woman wanting to take the man to court for money. It's not. I can speak from experience because I am a divorced woman. I am a previously divorced woman. I left my husband not because of infidelity, but because of irreconcilable marriage issues. Now, was there infidelity? Yes, there was. But that wasn't even my biggest issue. We probably could have worked through that. I probably would have been able to work through that. What I wasn't able to work through was the years of mental and emotional abuse. And at that point,
Hard, that doesn't exist.
Oh, well.
Oh, there's no such thing as mental and emotional abuse. That is women just not being able to endure.
Yeah, bullshit. I mean, between him and my father, I'm a pretty fucked up person, unfortunately. I'm trying. I try very hard. And because I am aware of the fact that not every man is like those two people, I work very hard to make sure that I don't blame all men for those issues. Because it's not all men any more than it is all women. And I hate having to get on the internet and tell some moron, some feminist goddamn moron, that no, walking outside is not going to be safer because there are no men, because a woman is just as likely to fucking beat the shit out of you as a man, especially when there is nobody around there to protect you, because women are fucking vicious. And I have absolutely no problems admitting that, and the fact that we're fucking insane. Absolutely bonkers. I don't like dealing with women. There are very few women I enjoy associating with, and the fact of the matter is now Sheep is looking at me funny in the background. Fuck off. Love you, baby. But the fact is any problem that you can apply to women, you can apply to men. Any problem you can apply to men, you can apply to women. Are the amounts going to vary? Yes, but we all have our own separate issues. And until we all sit down and realize, hey, sitting here and pointing fingers at each other and telling us how bad we are isn't going to fix the problem, because all we're doing is, most women don't like men either. So what's your point?
Sleazy. I was molested. Most of the people that abused me in my life were men. Family, friends, random people. I've never been more abused by anyone than all the men that I knew. They bullied me, and I'm not trying to be the Miss Body Positivity and say it, purely for existing in their space. I know I talk a big game now, but for years, I was the quiet kid in the back who drew in her book and left everyone alone. And they tortured me. They told me that I wasn't good enough for anything. That I wasn't good enough to even be a female. They're the reason I thought I was trans when I was 14. I defend men to the teeth, but it's because I understand where they're coming from with a lot of it, because they're not the enemy. This is two people who got a lot of abuse from men in their life and still understand that it's not men's fault. However, we also understand that it's not women's fault. What brings this all down is the culture. And if you really want to get back to it, the 60s are to blame for all this. The sexual revolution, the drug revolution, and the breakdown of the nuclear family, which neither men nor women did. It was honestly just a lot of horny people who were trying to break free of the baby boom. Okay? And you have a lot of people that raised a lot of young ladies in the 90s and 2000s with the phrase, men ain't shit. Because they had grown in abusive marriages. You know how many marriages were abusive in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and it was accepted? It was expected? Because a lot of these people if they slept with someone once, they had to marry them because of social stigma. There was a lot wrong with the push for too much Puritan values. Because then what you did was you had people who got really horny and they got really excited about each other for a year or two. You know what a great way to phrase it is? If you've never heard the song Paradise by the Dashboard Light,
Yep.
there's a reason why it's Meatloaf's generation that listened to, loved, and worshiped that song. Because it was very indicative of a lot of marriages. That's why you had a lot of alcoholics in the 70s and 80s, parents that really hated each other. I'm one of the few families where the parents even shared a room. I said this before, I think when we were talking about with the Faye Queen about relationships. Outside of, honestly, my close family, being my in-laws and my own parents and my brothers-in-laws, I don't know any of their parents that shared a room, that hugged. Everyone I know is like, I never even see my parents kiss. I never see my parents even hold hands. These are people who became in a relationship because they were obligated. And so then as they got older and a lot of the stigma went away, the problem is it pendulum swung too far the other way. And it's just like Hara was saying earlier. We are happy to defend men. And I was even on the side of Tate and Fresh and Fit for a while. I liked Pearl before. But then all I heard was women shouldn't be allowed on social media at all. Once you get in a relationship, you should delete all social media. Why? If you're on social media at that point, all you want is attention. Then I start hearing this over and over again. Women only want to be on social media for attention.
Isn't that why men want to be on social media?
If a woman's inbox is full, she's a whore. If a man's inbox is full, he's high value. Make it make sense. My inbox, especially back in the 2010s, I lost count how many men would fill my inbox with dick pics, with offers from all different countries, asking for me to send stuff back, this, that, and the other. It was very common.
I've seen more dicks than I ever wanted to.
Some of them really shouldn't be seen.
I have had men message me about their micro penis, and for some reason they thought I wanted to hear about it.
Mind you, without ever saying anything to me before, I had a guy so into me from India. He kept calling me on Facebook. I have a rule. I never block. Ever. I've always been that way. If I block you, it's because I absolutely had to. We were at family dinner. This is after my mother had passed away. Okay? We were at family dinner. My brother says, hand me the phone. Because this is after the 5th time the guy had called me. My brother ran into his bedroom, pulled down his pants, and flopped out his dick on camera. The guy called back again.
Oh my God.
So, doesn't make a difference to some of these people. They just horny. And so again, when you've got guys like this, you've got guys like Fresh and Fit who sit there and tell you that it's only women that are at fault. It's only women that are wrong. And then they start saying, it's all Western women. It's all Western women. A lot of these Western men have no idea what it means to get a non-Western woman. Because the thing is, these women are raised, yes, they will cook for you, they'll clean for you. They also expect you to fund them.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't just expect you to fund them, they expect you to fund them. You want her to be beautiful, you want her to be dressed up, you want her to have sex with you, you want her to cook for you, you want her to clean for you. Well, then when she goes, darling, I want Coach. You better show up a Coach. She's going to want her nails done. These women that are willing to marry an American man expect you to be a rich American man. As a matter of fact, Michelle did a video on it, and it was a perfect example. They lack, because the thing is, you're expecting them to have the same expectations that Western women have. You don't go and learn their culture. You don't go and learn their customs. One of them got mad because he gave her a purse and they laughed at him in the face because when she opened up the purse, it was empty. In her culture, if you give a woman a purse, it has to be filled with money, it has to be filled with jewels, and it has to be filled with gift cards. He didn't do that. And so they handed back the purse and said, not good enough. Mind you, it was a $700 purse. That doesn't matter. So the thing is, it's a beautiful fantasy to say, oh, it's because I got to marry outside my culture. Unless you decide to learn their language, learn their culture, and learn that 9 to the 10, you're going to be taking in their in-laws and your in-laws and their parents and family. Don't do it. You men folk are not prepared for what you think is there. I know, because I know, despite the fact that I'm a white supremacist Trump supporter, I know a lot of foreign women. I know a lot of women with family in foreign countries. I promise you, you have no fucking idea. You better be thankful you have Western women. Seriously.
My second cousin married a Japanese woman, and she is one of the sweetest people. I mean, I have a beautiful doll set that my mother bought from her for me. She takes these what's her name? I don't remember the name of the doll, but she makes yukata and kimonos for them. And so my mom bought a set for me, and it is gorgeous. I mean, just beautiful. I really want to set them up. I don't know where, but I want to do it so bad.
I would say a wall shop would be the best choice, seriously.
I need to do something, but they need their own box to protect them. Because, I mean, these are actually, the dolls themselves are collectors, like they come with a little card. But that's beside the point. So, wonderful woman, really love her. She will, and I'm not kidding, she will wait on my cousin hand and foot. Anything. But the second he pisses her off, it's over. It all comes tumbling down so fast, it would make your head spin. And these women they don't argue the same way American women do. They don't.
They underhanded. They vicious. Life becomes very uncomfortable.
Very fast. Very fast. So it's very if you want, I don't blame anybody for what you have to see on the internet. I'm going to be very clear. For what you have to see on the internet, I don't necessarily blame anybody for thinking, well, maybe if I try outside the culture. I don't necessarily blame anybody for thinking that. Because honestly, there's a time in my life I was thinking, well, maybe I would just ship over a man from overseas. Because I was having that much of a problem dating, because I don't like to sleep with men on the first date. So, and that really kind of makes it hard to date, believe it or not. And that, of course, that was after my divorce, but that's beside the point. But you get to this point where you have to realize finding your other person, finding a person that you want to marry isn't about the culture. It's not about where they're living. It's about who they are. And it's about what you're willing to deal with and how much you're willing to put into the relationship. Sheep and I have literally not spent 24 hours away from each other in 2 years. Literally. And I'm actually happy with it. I enjoy having him around. He's basically my other half. My ex-husband, I was thrilled when he left. So thrilled.
I want you to know how many people I know that have said those exact words with people they're in long-term still relationships with. I've been with Starman 18 years as of May. We just had our 11-year wedding anniversary. The only time in our lives we were gone from each other for more than a day was 3 months. I was stuck in Rhode Island. We were extremely poor. It was towards the end of the recession, and I was in Rhode Island for a few months. I could not get back to here. That was the worst 3 months we ever had. Even when we were close to divorce. Mind you, he's asleep, so I can say this.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like not knowing where he was. Mind you, I was still mad at him. And once he got there, I was mad at him for it, but I was still happy to know that he was home. And I am very happy. This is what a lot of folks don't get. Being in a real marriage, being in love. I say this and I mean it in the kindest way possible. I don't need anybody else. My husband and I are very happy living in the house with our animals and not interacting with a lot of people. We don't need to. We're very happy being on our own without having any other stresses. And the thing is, a lot of these red pill guys love to sit there and say to me, and I've gotten in numerous. Go to the drama screenshot section and sift through a lot of what Black Cats is posting, and you will see some of my combos too. And these are men literally saying women are good for nothing but sex. Women don't know how to do this. Women can't be anything but that. Women can't even be effective. They say that everything women do is easy. Women do this, it's easy. Like, cleaning a house is easy, and it's not. Oh, chores are easy. Taking care of kids is easy. I do this, I do that. And I'm like, okay, go say that to your mom. Half these men either don't have a mom in their life, which answers a lot of questions. They automatically say to me that my opinion isn't valid because I'm fat, which is the dumbest thing. I'm not asking for you to fuck me, but we can have a conversation. Half of them think I'm a guy because I'm so straightforward. And once I tell them, no, I'm a woman, I can't even talk to you then. Up until then, you didn't even know. I have friends who are like, I just want to find someone who's wife material. I can cook, right? Always go to high maintenance. I have a farm. I work daily. They're just so hard to find. Fuck it, I quit with you, bro. Exactly. And the thing is, it is literally a matter of a lot of these red pill guys, you can tell, have either never dealt with a woman or don't know how to. And so they gravitate towards fresh and fit, and they throw thousands of dollars at them a night, and it doesn't do anything. This is just as bad as any woman taking advice from a dating podcast from women who are not married, i.e. Pearl.
Or even some women who are married. Let's be honest, because there are married women out there selling all sorts of shit. But I think the biggest problem that people are finding that they have today is that too many people have this weird idea that you find a person and you fall in love and it's easy. It's not. The hard part of waking up of a relationship is waking up every day and choosing to be with that person, choosing to deal with whatever irritations. I mean, Sheep makes this one sound that every so often he's making it, and I just want to reach over and smack him. But
Starman sweats in the middle of the night. See, again, I hate sweating. Starman sweats a lot. I hate when he touches me while we're sleeping because I need my space. But I still, this is gonna sound kind of gross, I still would rather have anyone else sweating up my bed than him. Because that's mine. And that's the thing. It's like, it's not that a relationship is hard work, but it's hard work. And the reason I say that it is just like where they say, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. It doesn't mean it's not hard work, but it's easier because you want nothing more than to make it work with him or her. Because it's like, I can't count how many times I have been in tears and I turn and go, you still haven't said you're sorry to me. And he'll go, and he will say something along the lines of, well, it's not going to be a thing. I still need to hear the word. It doesn't make sense. Why? Because the I'm sorry always comes with a hug, the I love you, a kiss on the mouth, and a kiss on the forehead. And I want my damn kiss on the mouth and forehead. No matter what, I want it. She's laughing because she knows what I mean, because I don't need the makeup sex.
She enjoys the makeup sex, but she doesn't need it.
Right, it's great. But that's not what I need. What I need is him to come over and hug me, and we're a team again, and he gives me the kiss, and he looks me in the eye, and we've come to that resolution. And that's what a relationship is. It's always wanting to get to that conclusion and resolution and wanting to be a team. And again, like when I was fighting with Starman about the ring, I said, you're making me feel like we're enemies right now. I don't like it. And that's the thing. You should never feel like your spouse is an enemy or a burden. And that comes with dating as well. If at any point in that relationship, whether you're a man or a woman dating a man or a woman, if you
Or
feel
even a
like
man and a man, or a woman or a woman.
whatever it is, whatever it is, take one gender and put it with the other, and whatever it is, if at any point in time the person that you are in love with feels like someone that you have to barter with and beg, and that it's you versus them, you're in the wrong relationship.
Yep. And if you go into a relationship thinking that this person is my enemy from the start, you're poisoning the relationship from the start. That's why these mindsets that, oh, women, Western women, any Western woman you might meet. And trust me, I understand part of where some of your feelings are coming from. Might be XY, or is going to be XYZ. She's just out to use me for money. She's just out to do this. Then you are poisoning the well to begin with. And you can't possibly create a relationship from poisoned soil like that. You have to understand that you are, every time you try to get into a relationship, you are taking a chance. And you are hoping that this time it works out. Now, that's not to say you don't look out for the red flags. That's not saying that you're not careful. But it is saying that you, in your heart, give the person an honest chance to be something other than what you think, other than what the red pill people are saying they are, or whatever it is. Something other than what your experiences are. Because if I had gone off the experiences I'd had in my life, I'd never be with sheep. I'd honestly probably never be with anyone ever again. Period.
What the winner doesn't know, the gambler understands. And I love that phrase for this reason. A lot of what Pearl and the rest of say is, why should they take the risk? Why the risk? Why should men even risk it? Because only women benefit, which is the worst lie ever told. Number one, every man I know that's been in a great relationship, the first thing they say is, a good woman takes what a man makes and makes it better. A good woman, which every good relationship I know has been like this, the woman makes her man's life easier. And I know because that's what I do. And a lot of people don't realize that. But I carry the brunt of a lot of stuff. Because I know that my husband works very hard at work. Anxiety-wise, he can't handle facing a lot of those things, but I can. So I take that on. I streamline the way we feed the animals, the way we clean the house, the way we operate on our shopping. Why? Because it's easier on my husband. So I take on the brunt of that role. I take on the brunt of that responsibility to rework it around to make it easier on him. And a lot of wives do that for their husbands.
I have no idea what I do for sheep, but I must do something. You still hear?
Listen, we all hush. And the thing is, that's what you're supposed to be doing. It doesn't matter about the risk. These are the same people that'll happily invest in stocks, that'll jump out of airplanes, that'll do all these different things that are risky, but then sit there and say, oh, well, getting a relationship and getting married, that's too much of a risk. Fucking goofy. If you want to get married, get married. If you don't want to get married, don't get married. But if you want kids, if you want to sit there and have the trad life where, you know, you've got women taking care of you and you've sown your own seed, you know, this, that, and the other, then yes, you've got to take the risk. Because I can tell you right now, there are tons of kids who may have had a benefactor but would have preferred the family together. My family grew up poor. But I always knew that my mom and dad loved me, they loved each other, and they were there for me. I would take that any day over my dad being some rich executive and flying everywhere and going across and funding everything that I have. So I would have had a lot of nice stuff, but I wouldn't have had my dad. And it's, oh shit. Cat in the Cradle. Cat in the Cradle.
Good song.
I know I keep referencing songs tonight because when I said what the winner doesn't know, the gambler understands, is another song reference.
Yeah.
It's the point is, I understand, like she said, I understand to an extent where you guys are coming from. But I also say the only reason you feel that is because you are looking at a targeted audience. If you only poll cancer patients on how cancer affected their lives, you're going to get a high rate of negative answers.
Depends on where they are in the process, but
that's my point. If you only poll a certain group of people, you're literally fishing for the answer you want. So yes, a lot of times they'll poll divorce rates. But what you guys don't realize, a lot of these polls come from like New York or LA or Dallas. They pick high-end areas. They're not going to poll the entire country. If so many people were divorcing, you wouldn't know anyone in long-term relationships. So again, this is why I say they are manufacturing the war. It's just like how many people don't like pit bulls, how many people are mad at cops. It's the exact same idea. So these same people, mind you, these same exact people who are sitting there saying, well, see, all divorce is bad, will sit there and tell you, well, clearly cops are not like this. Well, clearly pit bulls are not like this. Yes, because we know that they are narrowing in on a very easy thing. They're highlighting the bad. They're not talking about the good. Again, 28 to 200 pit bulls cause a bite and or death each year. There's over 4 million in America. So are they really an epidemic of danger? You will be hearing about hundreds of thousands of deaths. You would be hearing about hundreds of thousands of bites. 28 to 200. So 50% of the divorces that they get to hear about and that they were able to poll in this certain densely populated area is how they get their numbers.
We'll say in the case of marriage, they don't actually have to poll everybody because that is a government licensed thing. And then, you can also have the stats of the number of divorces currently granted, and you can do the math that way. What that doesn't necessarily tell you is what caused it. And also, yeah, there's a whole lot in there.
That doesn't take into annulments. That doesn't take into widows, because sometimes a lot of these people, it's just like with any other certificate. If you go to the official COVID deaths or official cancer deaths, and then you look at the death certificates, there's a lot that don't add up. So again, these are things where it's like they are using these stats to turn you against each other. Yes, you can get betrayed. Yes, you can get used. But there is a reason why for a long time the pendulum swung towards women, because women were the most screwed over. Because and they want to do it again. What you're not understanding is these are men that don't like women, and they want to put women right back in the place where if the man is not there taking care of the woman, can't do anything in life. They want a woman that cannot pay her own bills, cannot function outside of the husband. They just want to create someone who is dependent on them so she can't escape, which is literally what Tate did to all the women he kept in his compound.
Allegedly.
And so if you really want someone who is just there to boink you and cook, get a sex doll and hire a maid. It'll be cheaper.
Well, it's stressful too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Or just get a hooker and hire a maid.
That's true. Just get a high-end hooker or an escort.
Actually, there are actual services out there that will send a hooker to clean your house.
Because at the end of the day, guys, it's a ridiculous argument made by a lot of people who are very hurt. They're either men and women who will just... I'm using for the men portion of it, okay? Before anyone tries to come at us again about it. These are men who either got really bullied or feel rejected by women. They had one woman who treated them really bad, and now all women aren't shit. And then all they hear is somebody online that feeds them exactly what they want to hear, and that's all they need. You know what that's exactly like? Since you're all here, you know it. Who remembers the Bopo movement? When you have a small case of someone constantly hearing something, and then you get one person online that tells you exactly what you need to hear, and you're like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's right. I have whole fucking videos about how they did that to me.
Mhm.
And then I woke up one day and realized they were all fucking lies. And again, now they want women not to be able to vote. They want it to go backwards to where women aren't even allowed to leave the house. They can't have social media, can't have their own phones, can't talk back to the man in any way. Do you really want that? Really? Because
Get boring fast.
Huh?
Get boring fast.
It's real boring, real fast. When you want a woman who's not educated, who can't hold a conversation, all she can do is have sex with you. It sounds real fun at first if you're 14. And that's one of the reasons why they started going towards these third world country women. Because they were hoping for women that were stupid and just did as they were told. And now they realize it's not the case.
There's also some white knight syndrome in there where they're hoping that they're just so grateful that they'll not put up any kind of fuss about anything.
Yeah. They keep imagining there's going to be some women out there who is mysteriously beautiful and she's stacked to the nines and is a virgin and she's never looked at a man before. And oh my gosh, oh, you're going to hold my hand. Oh, yes, I will run away with you to America, to the better golden land. You're creating some kind of like, it's retarded. Like, you're a pheasant right now, okay?
Oh, reality is so different than what people think.
And the thing is, a lot of these guys that get in these relationships, I knew one, okay? Before I ever knew about the red pill, and when I was still kind of in the bopo, I was working with a guy like this. He made heaps of money. He came to my area because he thought that he could take his slick little way of selling. He literally told me, he was like, I made the most money where I was. And I figured I could come here and I could show these podunk people what it's like to sell. The thing is, you can't use the big city slick way of selling on these podunk people because they already don't trust you.
Oh, yeah.
He would walk in and he would talk to them fast and slick and try to make them feel like he could convince them anything. But the thing is, when you talk to rednecks that way,
They don't like it.
I don't need none of that shit anyway. Why I gotta pay $6,000 for a bed? I could spend that on a fishing rod and a gun. That's a down payment on a truck. That's how these people thought. And he'd get very mad. And then he sat down next to me and told me how he loved his fiery Latina Colombian wife, but she talked back too much. And so he went to, I forget, I think it was Laos, or Cambodia, and he purchased the current wife that he had at the time. She didn't talk much, but he preferred her over that fiery Colombian wife of his. Didn't have good sex, though. You don't have to tell me this shit. Then he got mad that she wasn't really grateful for the Mercedes that he bought her. Wasn't the right color. And he would sit there and whine about his marriage to me and how while she didn't fight back, there was so many things that were a bother. And they'd only been married like 6 years. And it was his third marriage. All of his wives were from other countries. So I've met red pill men. And I'll tell you what. This man was shaped like a toe. His head was a pit. So literally, hold on. I'm going to show you exactly how this man was shaped. Hold on. He had the most sweaty little, like...
She's drawing at least.
Who said that? Who
It was
said
me. That was me.
Look at
I just
you.
said that. But Rachel's going to bed. Sweet dreams, Rachel.
Sweet dreams, Rachel. Oh, and he had little hair. This is how this man looked.
Oh, Jesus. He looked like a Dr. Seuss character?
Yes. That's how that man looked.
Wow.
And he had this like bulging eyes and very sweaty. And he'd sit there and look at his stocks all day long going, swing, bada, bada, swing, bada, bada, bada. And I would sit there and I did not like him. He was the most annoying creature on the planet. He tried to tell me how I was allowed to do my job. This was, mind you, right after my mother had died. Okay.
Oh, God.
And I often, because I was what was called an MOD, so I traveled a lot. So I would bring all my art stuff with me. And I was drawing. And he, mind you, was not even on this day. He wasn't, you're gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need to scratch my nose.
He was not even on schedule. He came in because a customer he was supposed to have come in by Tempur-Pedic. Yes, very much like the penguin. Very much like the penguin. He came in on his day off because he needed to make sure that she came in and paid for it. So when the customer came in and said to him that she no longer wanted the bed, he was like, "Why?" Not even, "Oh, that's unfortunate. Why?" He's like, "Why don't you want the bed anymore? It's Tempur-Pedic. It's one of the best in the world. Why wouldn't you want this bed?" And she's like, "Well, I can't really afford it." He's like, "Well, where'd you go and get another one?" And she's like, "Well, I forgot what she said." He's like, "Really? There? That's where you went?" This is how he's talking to a customer. He was trying to like tell her she wasn't allowed. And then afterwards he left, he's like, "Can you believe that?" And I was like, "It's her money. She can spend it wherever she likes."
Yeah.
She'd only put a deposit down on the bed. That means she didn't really kind of want it to begin with. She was still thinking about it. I said, "And you didn't make that any better." And then he looks, he goes, "By the way, this isn't going to fly anymore." And I said, "Excuse me?" Mind you, again, I was there by myself that day. He's like, "I didn't have a place to sit when I came in." I'm like, "There was nobody supposed to be here today." He's like, "Regardless, you had your art strewn across the whole entire thing, and that's not going to fly in my store. You're not going to do that anymore." And I was like, every store I've worked in, I've done this. I highly doubt that. I was like, I've done it with, and I named the district manager, the regional manager, and our direct managers. He said, "Well, I don't answer to that manager. I only answer to this one," which is not true. You have to answer to all of them. And he told me that regardless, not only, because mind you, he said, "I got to put her under the desk." I said, "There's no room." He had piles of trash under the side desk. So there was nowhere for me to put my stuff to begin with. Everything was out of the way where I could get to it. He said, "Well, here's what you're going to do from now on. You're going to leave it all in the back of the store, including your purse. Your purse is not allowed up here either." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Yeah, none of your items are allowed up here." Mind you, he would keep a book bag, his laptop, his books, all of this up front. But I was not allowed to. I said, "That's not going to fly." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I have IBS and I need to use the bathroom. I am not going to take the extra time to run into the back storage room to then grab my purse to then get to the bathroom. I might not make it in time." He said, "Well, he said, I'm telling you how it is." He said, "No, I'm telling you how it is." I said, "You are the first associate to get mad about this, and you will be the last associate to get mad about it." I said, "This is not changing. I have done this everywhere." He goes, I highly doubt nobody's complaining." I said, "Go ahead and call. You go ahead." And then finally said, "Well, how about it?" And this was 4 or 5 years ago now, so I'm paraphrasing. Finally came down, I said, "How about this? We'll do a compromise." I said, "You clean out the bottom of that desk, and I will make sure that I leave all my stuff under there. That way there's no issues." He said, "Fine, it's a compromise." Now, mind you, he had already sent to me and 2 other store manager associates. We'd all been store managers. He sent us guide emails on how we were to sell in his store. Not just like, oh, hey, by the way, I need this cleaned up here. When you're here, can you respect this? No, it was show them the luxury of this $200 mattress. He gave a little guide of how we're supposed to do things. So we, of course, saved that email. And later that day, when my regional manager came in, because it was right before 4th of July, when my regional manager came in, well, I was trying to sell in this man's store and get him his bonus. My regional manager gets a phone call from my direct manager. Now, mind you, by that time, I'd already cleaned up all my art stuff. It was neat and clean, neatly stacked. And how I knew he was on the phone with the manager, he goes, no, it's not a mess at all. Everything's all neat. Everything's in a pile right there. It's all even. And I was like, so much for compromise. Because he still called. And so I went, I had a CYA file on this man. It wasn't just that email. It was several emails he'd sent. Also, the printed out directions he had given us. And how we weren't allowed to do this, how we had to do that. And my regional manager went, So when I arrived for work the next day, this gentleman said, Cass, can I get you a tea? Would you like some donuts? I'm going across the street. I'll get you something. You comfortable? You bet your ass I pulled out all my drawing shit. And guess what he didn't say? He didn't say a fucking word. And so I know men like that. Tiny-dicked, weak, sweaty, thin-lipped men who need to feel powerful. And they don't understand what it's like to get clapped back at.
The poofy headphones are because if I don't have this thing on the headphones, they're just slightly too big for, like, literally just this much too big for my head. And then it pushes in on my ears and it hurts. But this really keeps it so that they're not pushing wrong. So
the problem with higher quality headphones is they're usually designed for bigger heads.
And apparently my head's small.
It's delicate.
It's proportionate to the rest of my body. Minus the fat ass. But
definitely minus the ass. But yes, sassy sip, yes. Very true. Because again, I was well known at all of my jobs. Don't fuck with me. Because I had a habit of, especially at Mattress Firm, I kept the CYA file on a lot of people. For just that reason. Because someone tried to claim that I was, after the second time, someone tried to claim I was stealing sales. I learned my lesson. And I was like, I didn't. I wrote your name on the sale. I just did a better job than you. It's why the customer wants me and not you. But yeah, I started collecting a lot on everybody. Because they tried to claim like I would make a bigger mess and shit like that. Or I would do this and I'd be like, I started taking photos. I took videos. And I would show like, this couldn't possibly come from me because this is days worth of staining. And I wasn't there. So back to Crowder and the Daily Wire.
I don't know. I think we've veered the fuck off that conversation.
We flew off of that.
Way off the handle on that.
Plus, we don't want to talk about the chasm anymore. There's too many chasms.
I'm tired of the chasms. I am at this point on Twitter. If you are talking too much about any of the dramas that I've been seeing, I'm muting you. And I do not apologize if you're tagging me in something and I'm not responding, because I just got sick of it and I can't take it anymore. If you choose to continue that, okay. I don't have to watch it.
I'm frankly just oblivious to most of it. Like, it doesn't... The closest thing I had to drama, and I'm not even going to actually state what it is that after that whole thing where we were all like being like all chummy about the BOPO, someone from the anti-BOPO decided to make videos about how evil Republicans are. And I was like, great. And how this person had to start blocking fellow anti-BOPO people because of how evil they are and bigoted they are because they want to erase trans people. And I was like, well, there goes the kumbaya. And a fellow person messaged me like, we need to say something. I was like, no, we don't.
Nope.
We don't have to say a word. I said, we just have to be Yes, exactly. The Asian talk people learned that. I learned to keep receipts a long time ago. And that is why when Asian talk happened in the end, I won. So, and that's why again I won with even the art Twitter thing, because I realize I keep once in a while someone likes one of those tweets against me, and I go back and I look at them, I'm like, none of them know what sarcasm is. They really thought that I sincerely thought that they loved me. They're like, you don't even know what hate is. I'm like, oh my God. Like, because I always just found when people really, really don't like me, I always go with, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the attention. And none of them get it. None of them get it. It's hilarious. But yeah, I have learned that, and that's why I tell you guys this, because if anyone ever comes after you, having a CYA file, so good. Keep any and all evidence. Pile it away somewhere in your computer. Make sure you have a computer. External hard drive, what the fuck? External hard drive is an excellent thing to invest in, and they're pretty cheap now. A 1 terabyte, or because I guarantee you don't have half as many photos as I do. I've easily got 300,000 or 400,000 photos now on mine, and that's not including all the hours of video from YouTube. So I do have a lot of, like, I think I have an 8 terabyte now. So I've got a lot. Yes, exactly, Lico. Take notes. So the best thing you can do is, when shit hits the fan, record, screenshot. It's very few people I don't have to worry about. She's one of them.
I already know all the dirty secrets.
It's true. Like, there's most people I'm very careful with because I know better. But anyone you think that can turn their back on you, anyone that you are even acquainted with, that you might be a little suspicious of, or someone that you worry a little bit about, and everyone's thinking of that one person in their life right now.
Got like 5, but
I guarantee at least one person popped into your head when I said that.
Yep.
You CYA file that. Cover your ass.
Metastep, unless there is some reason for you to have that for divorce or custody or something, delete that. Unless there's a legal reason to actually keep it, you don't need to torture yourself with it.
Unless he doesn't look at it. I will say that if he keeps that tucked away, like you said, like, if it's something where you know that, let me put it this way, because I agree with what she's saying too.
You haven't divorced yet? Okay. In that case, yes, hold on to it.
Yes. If this is something where you don't know if you want to divorce her and you're potentially going to, absolutely keep a hold of that. If, like she said, if you have, but I don't look at it, right.
Okay.
Don't.
But when the divorce is over, do delete it. You don't need it past that point. So that point, even just having it, I guarantee you that when you get to that point that you can delete it, it will feel like a huge relief.
Right. Make sure you've got everything settled for you. Okay?
Yeah. Everything in writing, all the papers are signed, and you are.
Yeah, because typically the lawyer will keep a copy of it anyway.
Yeah.
So it exists. Me, I keep everything. That'd be torture, right? Especially for someone who can't. If you are someone that can't separate, like if you're someone who, I have to look at it again, I've got to remind myself, then yeah, get rid of it. If you're someone who can be like, I don't care, that's fantastic. Do that. But most people like to torture themselves, let me just be honest. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
What, Axel? But yeah, I always believe in covering yourself. My dad, that's one of the things that my father taught me growing up. And because he didn't CYA file enough, it did get him screwed over. So thankfully, for the most part, I have been pretty good at not getting screwed over. But, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't like, I don't like useless drama. I don't like unnecessary drama. And I don't like...
I don't like drama.
See, I don't mind drama when I'm looking at it. Like, if somebody's having drama,
Yeah, I'm okay watching other people's drama, but when it's a little too close for my comfort, it gets me upset.
I agree. When you're watching it, and it's like, guys, again, see, they did bring us back to it, like the Crowder and the Daily Wire thing. Shit,
Damn you!
who did that? Who did that?
Hold on. I can figure out who did it. That would be Shadow Warden. God damn it, Shadow Warden.
Hello, clever girl. And that was such an ADHD moment. Oh my god.
Yeah, I could physically see it.
Okay, so I said clever girl, and then I thought of then I thought of Jurassic Park, and then I remember there was a Jurassic. You gotta follow me here, guys. This all happened in that nanosecond. Then I remember there was a Jurassic World ride.
Yeah, we saw the stroke.
Dollywood, and then I remembered there was a gem mine, and that gem mine, I also have a gem mine in my town, and the gem mine, there is a full-size megalodon tooth for sale.
Oh shit! He's in chat. He's in Stars chat.
And you don't understand that is literally how all.
No, I totally believe it because we watched it. It literally, your brain kind of. I mean, it was visual. You could see it.
Brain blast! Extra points if you know the reference, guys. And
Hey, Brahma.
And pass him a coffee. And so I went and we walked in when I went to see, because this is the day I took the video of the bees. And I went in because I was like, Starman said, do you want any trinkets while we're here? Normally, I don't buy those trinkets. I was like, fossils. They have fossils. I want to get a fossil. Like, and so I did. I bought 2 slices of Ammonites. They were only $2 a piece. I really like them. They're somewhere out there. They're in a bag. And that's when I walked in and I went,
Brahma's on Rumble.
I was like, Matthew. He said, what? I said, look. And they had, like the ones I have. So these really beautiful splits, they used to be in the box on, wow, my hand just went and I'm holding it. It's so weird. It happens once in a while. Anyways, those used to be in a big box, but now the really fucked up ones are in a box. And so they are splits, but they're not pretty. I'm still probably gonna buy a couple of them. And then I looked down, I saw some splits in the case, and then I saw this beautiful, huge. Are you guys ready for the price?
Uh-oh.
$250.
That's not bad.
No. And I'm like, has anyone asked for that? And they're like, no one's asked for it. I'm like, good, tell them it's fake.
I'll be back.
Like, after I buy the house, I plan on extending credit on the credit card. I'm going back for that. That's going to be my gift to me. I told Starman that. I'm like, listen, if everyone wants to know what I want, you all can band together. Get me the tooth. Because it's, when I tell you guys, it's beautiful.
She wants the tooth and nothing but the tooth.
Do you know that is not why I wrote that? I wrote it because of Zorro's tooth. But it did so well!
You're having tooth issues.
It's the tooth kind of night. And but when I tell you guys, I froze. I got so excited when I saw that. And it was something I wanted to tell you all last week, but for some reason I never got to. But it was so cool. It was so cool because it's just such a beautiful tooth. They apparently went to a convention and they bought it wholesale and they brought it back. She like al dente. She used it right. Horror's always catching me. All right, Horror. Talk about your puppy or something for a second. I'll be right back.
Great. I don't have anything to say. on. I'm thinking about it. I'll come up with some. What did these assholes do lately? Okay. So Bruce found himself a new home.
Oh yeah, this becomes something.
I would guess he didn't necessarily find himself a new home as much as my cousin decided he would like a dog. And I know that the dog's probably better off in a less crowded home. So he is now living with my cousin. I will still get to see him daily, nearly. He'll be going to the same place I work with my cousin, and so him and Sydney will get to play. But to make up for that for Sydney, because he is a very active 1-year-old doggy who likes to play a lot, I bought him a nice little squeaky toy. And he really enjoys his squeaky toy. He's squeaking it in the front yard, in the living room, and oh yeah, they know that you prefer Rumble. They just wanted to say hail. Also, if you're on YouTube, I get the viewing hours. So I'm almost there. I'm almost at halfway there. That's a separate issue. Yeah, Sydney's been preach the gospel of Sheepsidianism. Well, I mean, if you want to have a good man, Sheepsidian's pretty good. Like anybody, there are ups and downs, but he is definitely my preferred partner. So he's a good person. Minus that one sound he makes. I really just want to slap him sometimes. Back to the dog. I gave Bruce his first bath before he left. He was not excited. Sheep had to hold Bruce down the entire time while I clippered him. He really did not enjoy that. Sydney's enjoying brushing more. However, I have discovered that Sydney has a severe fear response now to the shock collar, so I will not be able to use it on him. The beep, just the beep alone, sends him hiding. Horrible. So after the squeaky toy, Sheep's doing okay with the squeaky toys. When are you and Sheep going to play party animals? I don't know. From what I can tell, since Sheep was talking about it earlier before Eric played it with Geeks and Gamers, the last time he played the game, he stopped talking to somebody, but apparently playing the game didn't have anything to do with the fact that he stopped talking to the person. It doesn't make sense. But I don't think he wants to play the game. That's all I got. However, we did play a new game on Sunday. We developer actually gave me a couple free copies of this game. It's called Possessions, and that was pretty fun. It was kind of a trophy / possession kind of hunt. You run around a house as a thief, and a kitsune tells you to do these tasks. But while the thief is trying to do the tasks, you have to your friends are a bunch of little ghosts. You keep ambushing the thief with these things around the house. Unlucky, I will send you a free copy and you can join next time. But you ambush him with things around the house so you can possess the body. The first person to finish all their tasks in the body gets to leave the house and wins the round. It's fun. It was hilarious. Yes, Joker Jay was watching and he said the stream was hilarious. It was a lot of fun. Now it's a Batter the Burglar game. Well, yeah, it's definitely a Batter the Burglar game. That's so funny. And it's kind of chaotic when you have more than... So, like 3 to 4 people, it's kind of fun because you get to spend a little more time trying to trick the person or the person in the body. When you have more than 3 people, I think the max you can have is 9 in a game at a time. But when you have that many people, all of a sudden it just becomes, how the hell am I going to possibly get through this hallway with everything I know is probably trapped? And it's absolutely hilarious. It is. Had a lot of fun playing it. It's new release indie game, so I know the developers are working on improvements for it. But it was definitely a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Tested a new streaming platform. How'd that go, Brahma? Oh, you said it was crazy. I will be using Restream in a different way soon. That's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to playing with that some. Tomorrow, I will be spending time setting that up. We'll see how that goes. What else was I talking about? All right, Sydney, and Bruce. I need to get a picture of Bruce. He's funny. Because he'll sit weird, and it's just such a weird way. We are used to 7 days, so bugs aren't new. That game looked fun. It was fun. I think everybody had a lot of fun. Definitely interesting figuring it out. So really, can you have no Star Sand's mine? I'm not sharing her fake queen. I'm sorry. I am not the type of woman to share. Sorry. You can borrow her occasionally, though. But yeah, we definitely aren't, bugs aren't new. But for the game, there wasn't anything too buggy other than when you leave. The Trump versus the Illuminati. Yeah, I watched that whole movie. There's one. Okay, so for the record, Dragzilla just mentioned the Trump versus the Illuminati. It's a movie I found on Amazon Prime, and it's terrible. It's absolutely awful, like severely terrible, but hilarious at the same time. The best part was the part where Trump, to be fair, it's the Chinese clone of Trump with bigger hands. But he's on Mars a million or 1,000 years in the future, and he mostly it's so terrible bad that it's good. That's the only way to say it, because it's not terrible good, because at no point is it actually good. It's all the way bad, but it's so bad it loops her back around to being watchable. Jeremy didn't indeed like the movie. He found it hilarious. Velocipaster is actually better. Velocipaster is intentionally bad in some ways. Like when they say insert effects here and stuff. And while you can tell this movie was intentionally bad, it's a little bit, it's different. It's a different type of bad. So like, it's not like they were trying to be serious with the movie, obviously. You're talking about Trump destroying the Illuminati, who is, by the way, ran by Aleister Crowley, who looks like a little gray man with this tiny mouth that never tracks with the words. And the movie starts with him talking to Anubis, but ends with Trump shit-talking Satan to his face. So it's an entirely, yeah, it's different. But the best part, like I said, the best part is when Trump comes face to face with the Illuminati on Mars, and he says, he tells, I guess he's connected. Oh, by the way, not only is he a Chinese clone, but he's integrated with AI and all sorts of other stuff. So he's in his spacesuit, and he says, start the Trump 45 playlist or something like that. And it starts playing this weird dance music, and he does this dance. I really wish It's hilarious. It's no, not Iron Man. No, but it's. I recommend you watch it, and I understand if you hate me after watching it, but yes. It's not any specific dance, Unlucky. It's just a random kind of. He's doing the backwards macaroni backwards. I could see that for parts of it, but then he gets to the very end of the dance and he jumps up into the air, his shoulders back and just, jumping into the air. And that at that time is when the Atlantean army beams him up to their ships. A lot of sex jokes. They talk about grabbing people by the pussy, that kind. Hey, if you suck dicks like you happy millionaire. Yeah, it's definitely a movie. Carrie is very nice. I really like Carrie. Yeah, it's sounds terrible. Now I want to watch it. Yeah, when I saw the movie, the second I saw the poster and I hit start and I started watching it, the first thing I thought is I have to tell D-Day Cobra about this because I had to know if he knew about it. He had not, and he did indeed watch it, and he did indeed enjoy it because it is definitely one of those stupid, funny movies. There's some COVID jokes in it, some jokes about toilet paper, and it's a unique movie for sure. Yes, it was very much worth sharing. It's something to be watched. That one, the other terrible movie that I enjoy recommending to people and letting them hate me for either later is Zombie Strippers. Because I love zombie strippers. It's philosophy meets strippers meets zombies. With Robert Englund in it. It's so terrible. It's great. I love that one. Hey, Black Cat. Never heard of that movie? You should check it out, Esteban. That's some spicy zombies. There's one part in it. Oh my god. I was a toilet paper gunner in 2020. Zombie Strippers has the one part in all of cinema that still disgusts me to this day. And Star Sand's coming back like, what the hell are they talking about now? I left, they were talking about a dog, and now she's talking about zombie strippers.
Well, I'm still worried about Zorro, so he came in while I was in there because he's not feeling his greatest right now.
Hi, Zorro. Oh, he's looking old today.
We're giving him antibiotics, but he's still not happy. He
No.
just feels so light. But anyway, so Zombie Strippers.
It's a great movie. Recommend watching it. You'll hate me afterwards, but it's a good movie.
What's it about besides the obvious?
Okay, so it's about this lab. It's got zombies in it in this really crack team of military people, soldiers, are going in to test this electromagnetic pulse device to see if it works on them. And it appears to work, but while it's going on, one of their number get bit. And so they get back out, and the guy doesn't tell anybody he's been bit, of course, and he stumbles around, and he stumbles into this strip club, and he bites one of the strippers.
Of course.
And the people running the strip club, one of them is Robert Englund, and he is a germophobic, misogynistic asshole.
Of course.
So he's pissed because one of his best strippers has been bit, and they lock the young man up in the basement. He's trying to figure out what they're going to do. The stripper gets back up and goes out and dances and does her best strip ever. The men love the zombie stripper. And she gets to the end of her dance and crawls forward and picks a guy to eat. And of course, seeing this, all the other strippers are like, well, we want to be able to do that. And so one by one, the strippers get bit. And, when it happens, they're all just, they turn into these amazing. Oh. Did I mention it has, what is her name? She was really big back in the 90s.
Elvira?
No. She was a porn star. Jenna something. I can't remember her name right now. But she's in it. And she turns into like queen bitch stripper. And I thought it was called Sucker Punch. Jenna Jameson. Yes, thank you, Metastep.
Oh, I do know that name.
Yes, I knew you would because
why did you know that name?
Everybody knows that name.
Like how Brahma and Meta are like, oh, we know her.
She was big in the 90s for a whole bunch of reasons other than porn. But yeah, so she was in it. And it gets to I thought it was messed up. I thought fast zombies were bad, but sexy zombies were over. It gets so much worse. I mean, you've got, they do their strip dances, and then they people with porn addictions have been outed.
Damn.
But they pick which guys they want to eat, and they take them back for special dances.
Consumption.
And I mean, the whole thing. And then it gets to the end, and there's this one stripper who's been on the fence. Is she going to have him bite him? Isn't she going to have him bite him? And of course, she's the one who has the sick aunt who needs the money to get the operation, and her boyfriend from her little town followed her there to try to convince her, oh no, don't do this. But of course, when she starts dancing, he starts throwing money at her. And they're literally reading lines of like Nietzsche to each other and shit.
I can't with this.
And it has one of the singularly most disgusting images I have ever seen in my life. I am not kidding you. It is absolutely disgusting.
I want to ask.
I can actually get you the clip.
No. I don't need the actual visual.
It's not the same without the visual. It's not.
It's the vague idea I'd like to know. Cause I don't do that. I can't.
Okay.
It might help me lose weight, but I don't want to lose it that way.
I know what type of person you are. So just this idea will gross you out because it's one of those few things that really gets me.
Just give me a vague idea. Vague.
It involves female discharge.
I believe you. No need for a clip. Exactly. Thank you, Unlucky. We're in agreement. I'm also like, so what's helping me stay sane right now is I'm thinking, Zoro didn't get to eat his nightly treat. Maybe I'll make a more liquid version of it. And that's really keeping me going. That's assisting me through this whole moment.
And underwear.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear nothing. I hear nothing.
And it's sliding down the wall.
I hear nothing. I'm sorry. What? No. Continue. Don't need to. Moment is past. So, Crowder DW. Is that what we were talking about? Crowder DW. Sounds good. Yes. See? Step yes. My boy. That's why he my man. That's why him and I, we got this. Gotta hit the second night, I
have
don't
you
speak English no good. I don't understand.
Good night, Brahma.
I don't understand. It's what the fuck is his name? Oh, I can't think of it. That black singer that someone saw him, they were like, "Oh my god, you look just like him." He's like, "That's because I am him." I'm trying to think. Shit. Jason Derulo. Did you ever see that? This guy. So this guy would do YouTube videos. He just went around. He saw nice sports cars. He walked up to the guys at the gas station, and be like, "Oh my god, your car is gorgeous. What do you do?" I guess you didn't know who Jason Derulo was.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, you ever heard the song? Oh shit. I'm listening to the beat in my head, but I'm
That
trying.
doesn't help. I can't hear it.
And
I don't look.
your dreams. Good night. Shit. What was it? Trying to think of the words for it. But either way, Jason Derulo is a singer, very famous.
Apparently, he's an R&B singer. Something about love pox.
No, that's not it. It's See, I listen to the song all the time. On the part I just quoted was from the song, Jason, and it goes da 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 da, and I can't think of the words of the song right now, and I'm afraid to start singing it because Papa YouTube gotta be a dick about it. Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you. Jason Derulo.
He had songs on the radio, right? I don't know about that.
You know the words to my songs. No habla English. Our conversations ain't long, but you know what is. So that's.
I don't know that song.
It's one of the lines from his song. I implored your confidence. He had songs on the radio. Whatchamacalls it though. And so he was just driving around in his car. And hello, Cassandra starts off with Falls, right? That's my fake name, but yes. And whatchamacalls it. So the Cheetah Girl starts up. And so whatchamacalls it. He's just driving around. This guy walks up to him. And it's called Talk Dirty to Me, right? And he goes, "Oh my god, your whatchamacalls it is so good. It's so cool. I like it." I don't know what that means. Then 96253.
Supposed to be your it's supposed to be your fucking
Invest in Invisalign.
ISP. Your
Don't live there.
Nope. Good try though. Who have
Not
you
gonna
pissed off
do it.
now? Because they're trying to act like they're stalking you. So who have you pissed off now?
Not my name. The right gut potential. He's just throwing out areas in Rhode Island.
Well, my boyfriend already thinks I'm amazing, so
I don't know what he's doing.
he's trying to intimidate you by pretending to stalk you, and he's doing a terrible job at it.
Horrible job. OMG, if you hit the treadmill, you'd be amazing. Okay. Again, I told you somebody's mad at me. I don't know.
They're really mad at you, apparently, because they're trying to intimidate you, and they're doing a piss poor job at it.
Hello, Star Sign Fafalis. Yes. That's.
Apparently, you're so ugly, you make it. Wow.
Oh, honey. Reported. You're on kick, honey.
Reported for being fat. Okay. Cool. So people got eyes. Neat.
Anyways, so as I was saying, because now it's just boring. he went to Jason Derulo. He's like, "Oh my god, your car is so cool. How did you get that? What do you do for it?" He's like, "I'm fucking Jason Derulo." Like, and
you see, he would say that, and my immediate response is, "Wow, he bought you the car."
the way he said it was just funny. He's like, "What do you do for work?" "I'm Jason Derulo." Like, it's just the way he said it was so funny. It was too much. It was too much, and I just thought that was too cute. It was just like, I'm me. That's how I make my money. It's it. And but yeah. So I thought that was pretty funny. I enjoyed that. What were we talking about before that? I lost a train of thought. Was it DW Crowder again? Are we going right back to that?
I mean, we can always talk about zombie strippers again.
No! I don't want to.
I don't want to. I mean, what's there really? Oh, I was gonna say, did you see that the Daily Wire is putting out a Snow White and the Evil Queen?
I literally just saw that, and I support it 100%.
Why would Nick Rekieta troll us?
Huh? I think he's talking about you.
Aren't I on the left?
No, honey, you're an independent.
Hey, good point.
This is my old email. But if you guys want to email me at my old one, go ahead. Good one. Hey, I thought it was pretty clever.
It was funny. Oh, yeah, that's true. People do pay Nick to fat shame them.
Nick who?
Nick Rekieta, internet lawyer.
They pay him to do that?
He's actually not bad about it. Or, well, he's not bad at it. Some people, like Sleazy was just in here, and he's actually paid him to fat shame him to help him be motivated to lose his weight.
I mean, if you're paying someone to do it to you,
yeah,
I guess that would make sense.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he found an old one.
Mm, congratulations.
Silver Star Cassie. That's back when I was like 11. Damn. And I still never lived in Woonsocket. That is old.
I really have to wonder who you pissed off, because I mean, while they're putting a lot of effort into it, piss poorly, they're definitely putting the effort in.
Impressed right now. I'm impressed with how deeply I got under someone's skin. I haven't seen those clips. Clips of what? But anyways, I don't know. Like, I know there are people who benefit from it. Snoozebase.com. I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it. I'm going to say if you had to pay them money, they, I hate to tell you this, sweetie, but they scammed you.
Yeah.
Because
I wouldn't mind. At least they narrowed the state down from when I was a kid.
Yeah. I think they want to have you, baby.
Okay. That was funny. Had it over 5 years. I don't know.
It's not giving you good information, so you've been scammed, honey. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't show any more on screen. Well, I mean, everything they're showing is either like when I was a little kid, or it's just not true.
Yeah.
I never lived, I mean, I lived in Rhode Island, but all of you know that. But this is not the first time this has happened.
No. It's hardly the first time we've had some morons pop up and try to scroll or whatever. What's my name? I'll be impressed. Why'd you forget your name?
Who am I? I'm trying to. Right, like, people just get mad at me. But at the end of the day, I've been doxxed like how many times now? Christine Hamilton? Who? Read the rest of what?
The name. He's trying to figure out why you didn't say fuck.
Oh. My name's name. My name Mama's. Oh. Don't laugh too much. Your arteries are gonna clog. Clong. You couldn't even write clog the first time. There's 16 results. I don't understand this. No. So you use the old info to track you, so don't, I mean...
You can try, but I don't think it's going to connect.
Man, he got you wrong too, Faye Queen.
I don't know. What are your pronouns? I already know mine. If you can't figure them out by looking on screen, sounds like a you problem.
What I'm trying to figure out is why they're on Kick.
I don't know. Are they on yours or mine?
I don't have a Kick.
Oh, so they must be on mine.
Well, I mean, all right, so I have a Kick.
That's
I do
not connected?
nothing with it. It's just there.
Mm-hmm. At least my Kick's finally getting some attention.
They just won big money. Congrats.
Congratulations. Cool.
Not all hackers are equal. I'm a tad bit bored. Tanisha Wynn. I don't know who that is either.
Mm-mm. Unless
Either
he's talking about Faye Queen, because he's got some stuff, but I don't know if any of that's accurate for her.
Orange. Oh, I hate that they don't do that.
You mean my boyfriend's figures over there? He's got some Cyber Frog. He's got Eric July's I Saw Him. I have over here, I have my from the Elder Scrolls Online. I have that. I have Melina from Elder Scrolls. Yeah, I have a boyfriend.
And I have a husband.
He's downstairs.
Mine's asleep because he's got work in the morning.
I mean, mine's got work in the morning too. I haven't been in Virginia since my conception.
Yes, these guys got sent by somebody. I don't know who though.
What I find weird is they came to my kick to fuck with you.
I know.
That's just weird.
You have a hernia. Oh,
that sucks. Metastep. Are they going to do the surgery? Did they say how big it was? Because my mother's got. My mother just did hernia surgery not too long ago. It can be pretty nasty for the first few days. But no Warhammer 40K. Sorry, Shadow Warden.
No more. All right, is that
makes sense.
Computer game only?
Warhammer 40K? No, it's a tabletop. It's computer games. It's all sorts of stuff. It's books. I mean, when people talk about something having a huge lore, Warhammer has an enormous amount of lore.
Henry Cavill. I know that Henry Cavill was like. So that's why he got kicked off of Witcher.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I will know everything I need to about The Witcher because he loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And right, because I haven't gotten mine right, Fake Queen. Mind you, everyone knows I purposely haven't said it just to see what they do.
That's part of why I haven't said it. So
right, normally we don't care to say it, but I want to see. Because clearly this so far, whatever you guys are paying for, seriously,
ripped off big time.
Ripped off. I mean, keep doing it. Maybe it'll work someday. Maybe in 10 years I'll get the accurate information. And because the information they have on me is like from 20 years ago when I was in high school. And half of it still isn't right. Oh yeah, it gets worse. I'll probably need honey.
That sucks.
That does suck. But yeah, so I know that I'm assuming he's the titular character, right?
In The Witcher?
No,
yes.
Warhammer.
Oh.
As far as I know, they're doing a live action Warhammer.
Yeah, he's doing a live action Warhammer.
He's the main character.
I mean, he could be. I'm not entirely, because Warhammer's, so Warhammer for the most part is like a game that a lot of people will set up kind of their own stories. People paint little figures and fight each other. It depends on what kind of story they write for it.
So it's more like D&D than anything.
Yeah. 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 Be closest, I'd say. Yeah. To a comparison. I know that their battle system is distinctly different. I don't know how it's different, but yeah.
No wrong?
I think she might be talking to the trollers. I mean, it's kind of like D&D, not exactly. They're both tabletop games to start with.
Well, saying them making up their own stories and their own characters, and I mean, that to me is like D&D. I'm not saying the structure of the game is like D&D.
No.
I'm saying the actual just idea that you can make up, like, they give you base rules.
Right. And you have characters and
rules, but beyond that.
Yeah, it's not the same type of thing. It's more, it's weird. I've never really played it, as you can tell from my floundering in terms of trying to explain it. But there's
She's saying you don't make up stories and characters.
I mean, you can. But yeah, so you have little armies for the most part that you pit against each other. They have a tendency to paint them, and painting them gives them, I don't understand how it works.
I had to go potty, and then we ended up staying up a little longer. After 40's wondering why we're still awake.
Why not? It's only 1 a.m.
It's almost 3 for me. But still. It's been a long week after 40.
It's good to have some time with friends to decompress, relax, especially after the week she's had, and she's going to have to get up and figure things out in the morning. So this is important to her mental health.
Yes. Someone get me a metal detector.
Hey, Mephisto.
Hello, Mephisto.
He's got an explanation here. Probably
All right,
pay
hold
more.
on. Hold on.
You're probably not wrong, Shadow.
Oh God, hold on. I can't wait to put that one up. Where is it? Where is it? I can guarantee this because every nerd I know that plays any of these games.
Yeah.
But
my pets cost a lot less than my hobbies.
I will tell you right now, I could, if I eliminated all of my hobbies, I could pay for a lot more shit with the pets. A lot more shit for the pets. But I will say we got a really good deal the other day. All right. Total brag pet moment, okay? This is a pet parent moment. So there's this brand called Honey Coated. And I see she knows exactly what I'm talking about. And they will do these chewer sets. Okay. And it comes with a trachea, comes with a pizzle, comes with a horn, comes with an ear, comes with a horn core. No, bone core. Guess how much I paid? $10.
How much?
For the big one. The big bag, I paid $10 each.
Damn, that's nice.
Yeah. And I got the 2 largest trachea ones. I was like, you know what? I haven't been able to get them like real chewer stuff in a long time. And so, should I have spent the money? Did I anyway? There's a video out there. There's a video out there of a guy. He bought a half wheel, 44.8 pounds of Parmesan. He brought it home. When he brought it home, he put it on the counter, and his wife got out her phone and said, "Tell everyone again what you bought." And he says, "I bought Parmesan. How many pounds of Parmesan did you buy?" And he said, "Listen, I saw a price and I got it." She goes, "How many pounds?" And he said 44.8. And she said, "For how much?" He said $10.21. I said, "Sold!" Like,
I'd have a hard time not bringing that home too. I don't think there's any way in hell I'd ever get through 44 pounds of parm. Well, you know what? I would bring that shit home. I would shred it and I would freeze it.
You can freeze it as a wedge. I know because Restaurant Depot does. And you know what else you do? That's called a gift. You got people who eat food. You're getting Parmesan. You're getting Parmesan. Everyone's getting Parmesan for Christmas. $10. And this wedge was as big as my ass.
That's a big fucking wedge.
Exactly. And so I say, and so Starman loves to bring up this video and say, you wouldn't be mad at me. You couldn't even get, you couldn't. I'm like, you are right, honey. When you are correct, you are correct. If he showed up with that much cheese for that price, it's easy to finish. You just need an Italian-sized family. Well, Mephisto, welcome to Star Family. We have family meal every week. Oh, and that was something, again, I just brought it up earlier. I posted a video of Hendrix, and because when I got home, all the animals were very happy to see me. And I had Hendrix, there's little folded tables that we have, and when we're not eating, we let the cats crawl. Those are the only tables we let them on, is like the living room tables, because they're there just for decor. I was sitting on the couch. I had Penny on my hip. I had Athena on my stomach. I had Nova and Aria over here. I was covered in cat. And Hendrix was sitting on the table, and he took what he could. So he had just one leg sitting down, and it was touching my thigh. And it was just so cute.
It was very cute.
I took a video of that. And I wanted a background song. I believe background music, as you can tell, is better than the dead silence. It fills the dead silence easier, because when she and I stream without a background music, we feel a lot weirder when we go quiet for a second.
Yeah.
You feel that quiet. And it was a quiet video otherwise. Starman is playing video games in the background. And well, yeah, but Silvar, if you grate it yourself, you won't have the grain. Oh, the grains of the do you mean that, like, because I know that whenever you buy shredded cheese pre-shredded, there is always some kind of
cellulose powder or cornstarch or something on it. It's especially terrible if you're trying to use it to make a sauce or something, because it never melts right.
I know it's little globules, little tiny. I found that out the hard way quite a few times. You have to get the more natural of it, the ones that don't use any. So, like, I know Sargento has stepped back from using that powder. The only downside is it will come out as a brick sometimes.
I just shred it myself.
I don't have the wrist shred anymore.
Oh, I have a very nice KitchenAid mixer that I have the attachment for.
Okay, so. Side note really quick. My mother always joked that when she died, I could have one of the stand mixers. My dad won't let me take it. I'm like, Dad, it was a deal between me and the mom. Just let me do it.
It's not like you're using it, Daddy.
He doesn't. I just want my silver one. But anyways, so I know somewhere she's like, your father was a murder. I can hear her saying it, I swear to God. What was I talking about? Shit, I distracted myself again. Oh yeah, so I'm sitting there, and I decided because Nintendo made all of theirs royalty free. You can use almost any Nintendo background song, and I use that a little too much in my opinion. So I saw someone using Stardew Valley, and I was like, yeah, I love Stardew Valley. All his stuff is open source as well. I'll use a Stardew Valley background. I thought nothing of it. The video's up within minutes. I get a comment. Real nice of you to use Stardew Valley music and not credit them. What do you say to that kind of stupidity? Like, so no, I say I own the music?
No.
So yeah. Just very confusing.
Yeah, I need to take a picture of all my utensil drawers. I'm terrible.
Mine looks chaotic, but I actually was stacked a very certain way.
I have when we redid the kitchen, it was Mom makes fun of me because we went into the cabinet place and he was showing us what he had come up with for our space.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing he shows us is this little pull-out drawer, like the size you normally have the trash can hidden behind, but it's got a place for the knives to stick in, and then the little kitchen things to hold all the utensils, and then it's got a place underneath to store some other stuff. And for me, I love my knives. I love my utensils. So the idea of being able to put them in a place where, they would be all together and clean and in a special designed thing that's not going to dull the edges of my knives, and that made me really happy.
Of course.
And then we go to the cabinet that's supposed to be the pantry, and it's one of those pantries with the pull-out drawers, like 5 feet tall and 4 or 5 shelves, and I nearly started crying when he opened it. I'm not kidding. I teared up because I was just so excited.
Getting teared up now remembering that.
Yeah, but I was just so excited at the concept of having space to put things. I have an entire shelf of nothing but oils and vinegars. I'm not even kidding.
But that's exciting.
I have one drawer. I have a drawer in my kitchen. And all it is, from the front of that drawer to the back of that drawer, is spices.
I see nothing wrong with that.
My aunt comes and visits, and we open the drawer. She's like, "You need less spices." And I'm like, No,
I don't.
That's wrong. I actually need more space because I still have a bunch in this other cabinet over here.
I had to throw out a lot of old spices. And get a wall magnet for the knives. That isn't good when you have pets. Wall magnets. So at the restaurant I work at. Huh?
I don't have the wall space as part of my problem.
Well, the thing is, so I will tell you from experience that wall magnets are great, but they don't always work. And on more than one occasions, a knife has fallen off of them. These are strong, expensive magnets. But sometimes the knife doesn't connect properly. There's a vibration somewhere, and those can slide off when they vibrate. So all you need is your pet walking underneath it. I will take a nice, solid knife block any day of the week. You guys would die in my kitchen. I have no storage. The kitchen is not big enough for more than one person to be in there.
That's basically what my kitchen used to be like.
I would die because I don't like small kitchens. They scare me.
It wasn't scary. I mean, you could have 2 people in the kitchen if you had one person on one side of the thing and the other person on the other side of the thing. But now you can have like 3 or 4, 5 people in the kitchen, and the cook can still continue to cook. And I have a double wall oven. And the people I have heard come into the appliance store, and the salespeople are kind of trying to talk them out of a wall oven because of, most people just end up using the second oven as storage. And I'm just sitting here thinking, bitch, do you know how often I use that second oven? I almost use it every night. It is a integral part of who I am now to be able to cook 2 things in 2 separate ovens.
How do I put it? I used to cook so much, and then everything went wrong with the wall of humanity, and then I started to cook again, and then everything wrong with my family, people passing away, and now I work for a restaurant, and so all I ever have is food from the restaurant. And then when I go to my dad's on Sunday, he gives me leftovers as well, and so it's like I never need to cook. which threw us off so much. So when I came back this week, we're so used to having food in the house that when we didn't, I was like, we don't have anything to eat. We have everything frozen. Like we technically have food to eat,
Yeah.
frozen solid.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, damn, I did this to myself. I bought it
Yeah, I
years
need
ago.
to pull something up for dinner.
Double standing oven. Zora's going potty.
Yeah, I've seen those before. The ovens with the smaller oven on top and the bigger oven on the bottom. It's a fun part of working in an appliance store. You get to see all sorts of interesting stuff. Is it wrong that I appreciate appliances as much as power tools? No, because so do I.
Appliances are a beautiful thing. I wonder if Zora just peed. He's been acting like, again, I don't know if I'm going to kick the probiotics. That might have worked a little too well. Because I'm trying to figure out how he's lost weight.
Oh, side to side. Interesting. Oh, so you probably have like probably one of the more expensive kinds then.
There's this kind I want to get. It's so pretty. Not practical in any way. It works. There's no need to spend this much on a pretty stove. Like $9,000, $20,000. Like between $9,000 and $20,000 is how much these things cost.
Okay.
And it's mainly because they are pretty. And so yeah, gas top stove, side to side.
Yeah, I've seen those. Those are usually Vikings or Wolves.
See, I can't remember the name of the one that I like.
Elvira?
Afford it.
14 years old and still working nice. Congratulations.
Good, like really good stuff is made to last that long.
They don't make stuff like that so much anymore.
They really don't. But I think with it being 3 a.m. for me and 1 a.m. for you, I think this is a good way to, because I'm starting to babble. I don't know about you.
I'm ready to go get some water. I forgot to bring it up here with me, so.
Oh, reliable. But why don't you take us out, darling?
This week I will be doing nothing tomorrow, except for working on various things to, do things. Mephisto, that is kind of ironic, and I'm not going to say why. You understand why. And I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm like 12 and mentally. Nothing tomorrow. Midweek hump. We will have melee games on. I believe there's 2 people with that. I need to make sure I ask them for a picture. That's beside the point. That's midweek hump. Thursday, we're doing a new thing where I read stories. I've been reading Aesop's Fables. I may stop that and go into either Lovecraft or Poe for the next week or 2, just because, Halloween season. So I might do that. We will see. I need to go through the books. I also need to sit down with tea when I do that, because 2 hours of that straight really kind of gets to the voice. Hey, Paradise. I know it's ironic. Yeah. Friday, I will be doing Baldur's Gate. Saturday will be some 7 Days to Die. Sunday, I'm not sure what we're doing. It depends on what Darylyn's doing. We might do 7 Days to Die. I might do Baldur's Gate. I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get there. And then Monday, I will be back here with my dear friend Starsan, and we will, God only knows what we're going to do at that point, because at this point, we're so far off script, but that's okay because it's fun.
In my defense, it's usually me that is derailing. In her defense, to say, because usually some shit is going on and I whine about it. As for me, you will see me tomorrow at noon, and we'll be chatting and drawing, unless I decide to get thrown off rails again and start looking for the ring again. Y'all seem cool as fuck. Thank you, Paradise.
I appreciate that.
And Paradise is on Kick, in case you guys wondering who we're talking to. To our Twitch watchers and our YouTube watchers. Thursday, if all goes right. And Faye Queen said we are cool as fuck.
Aw, thanks, Faye.
I didn't just lose my ring after 40. That's right, you missed it. I lost my engagement ring. I was processing the black walnuts in my front porch, and the best we can guess is that the ring flew out of my bra while I was taking care of the walnuts.
She was crushing the nuts and her ring got lost.
Technically, I was crushing the fruit. The walnuts are curing in a little bag hanging in my porch. So been a little stressful. Zorro is not doing well, which has also been a little stressful. Trying to start streaming, but I need a computer and a camera and a mic and shit. It takes a little bit to get there, Paradise, but I will tell you, it is not the end of the world if you use crappy stuff for the first... Did you save the fruit to make ink? No, I threw it out to the animals. It was full of maggots by that time. Another reason why I processed them when I did. It's a whole story after 40.
You can also start from your phone if you really want to.
Yes. Because I talked about it all in the beginning. But yeah, Paradise, your best thing to do is to look up a video on the cheapest stuff. There are really good microphones that are only like $40. There are cameras you can get that are used, and all that stuff. You can get that all really cheap. But as for me, you'll be getting a new video from me on Thursday. I will be getting that done soon, and then you'll see me next week if something else. Can I get a kiss, hot mama? If nothing else goes wrong, you guys will be seeing me next Sunday with Faye Queen and with Just Peachy and my Omegal and Andrea. Hey, you know what? Whatever you can do, honey.
Hey, it's fun.
Yeah, every start is a good start.
Yep.
You got to start somewhere and then you go from there. And then you'll see me next week, Monday, with my beautiful, lovely StarMorata. Otherwise, guys, because we getting tired, I will talk to you all later. Have a wonderful night. Remember to get your pets spayed and neutered, and remember to tell the people that are important to you that you love them and to be safe. So, horror.
Yeah.
Yes. I love you.
I love you too.
Be safe.
You too.
Have a good night, everyone.